spring 2021. There was a parade in my city. Number one pick, dancing in the street. Everybody was hitting the gritty. Cade arrived in the D, and it was live as can be. They can ball, but we didn't want Green, Mobley, or Scotty B.
No shade.
When he got hurt, everyone lost it. Storylines leaking, no faucet. Caught him washed when he broke his tibia. All the haters, time to get it ready, yeah. Everybody wanna be Skip Bayless. Wanna throw shade, okay, say less. Dudes went number one for a reason. It'll click by the end of the season. When he wins most improved player. Gonna be a movie, here's the trailer. Don't say I didn't try to warn ya. Co-signed by Wembanyama.
Cade Cunningham.
He was raised a Texan, but now he's Detroit flexing. Team USA, he was killing them. Got him effed up, let me quote Eminem. Nowadays, everybody wanna talk like they got something to say, but nothing comes out when they move their lips. That's a bunch of gibberish and money lovers act like they forgot about Cade. Nowadays, everybody wanna talk like they got something to say, but nothing comes out when they move their lips. That's a bunch of gibberish and money lovers act like they forgot about Cade.
Forgot about Cade. They forgot about Cade. Forgot about. How you forget about Cade?
Detroit basketball. Woo!
Let's go.
Woo! What up, though, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Downtown Dew Show with the boss. Hope you guys are having a great Wednesday night, boss. How you living? How you feeling?
I feel great. You know, we talked about it earlier. Of course, being without Duran and Stu, which we'll get to. A little bit like, oh my goodness. And without Ron again. The Raptors were third place for a while. They're a young, fun East team. I was curious how we did, but I said, can't count them out. You agreed. Can't count them out. And we didn't count them out. And they held this game the entire way.
Yep,
that was so fun. That was so fun.
Yeah, definitely a bounce back game. Even though we did win last game, just the way we approached this game, wire to wire win. Just great energy throughout. This was very refreshing. Very, very fun game if you were able to watch this game, guys. For sure, we're going to get to everything. Got a lot to get into, guys. Chat, we see y'all. Y'all deep in the chat. Again, per usual. We appreciate y'all for sure, man. Just got finished up with the Live Assist Live Watch with our guy, Eric Vincent. Y'all go check that out, man, for sure. He does those for road games. So y'all make sure y'all tap in. The link is available on his Twitter. I'm Eric Vincent. Go follow him for sure. A lot of fun. But, guys, good stuff, man. Good stuff. We're going to dig into this game in its entirety. 40 freaking wins, says Doug. Yes, sir, man. I love it. 40 wins before the All-Star break is crazy work.
Crazy
work. And we are now the only team, along with the Thunder, who have 40 dubs before the All-Star break. I think we're 40-13, and they are 41-13, I think. And they're playing right now. So we'll see how
they're up right now.
You will see how it looks at the end of that one for sure. So, boss, before we get started, you want to get into your PSA?
Yeah, guys. So even though, you know, he's suspended and everything, we are donating 50% of all super chats this month to the Isaiah Stewart Learning Center. It's an after-school program for grades 1 through 12. They just help with tutoring, hot meals, transportation, just education enrichment, just a really great place. It's co-founded by Isaiah Stewart and Dr. Bernice Green Sr. Yep. Stu was in Dr. Bernice or Bishop Bernice Green Sr.'s after-school program himself, so he knows how valuable this is. He credits a lot of his NBA career to him as well. Yep. So yes, all 50% of all super chats this month will go towards that. Whether he's 100%. Playing or not. So
whether he's playing or not.
Yes, exactly. So just to give back to him. And again, like he's always there for teammates, community, as we have seen. So we got to be there for him as well. Yep.
As we talked about. Absolutely, man. So yeah, shout out to Stu, man, for sure.
Yeah.
So guys, let's get to this game, man. Tonight, guys, if you did not catch this game, if you don't know what happened yet, the Pistons face off against the Raptors. Toronto, for the first time this season, the Toronto Raptors went up against the Pistons, and despite us being shorthanded, the Pistons pulled out a win in Toronto, convincing road win, 113-95. Like we mentioned, to reach the 40 win mark, improving to 40-13 on the regular season. As far as the injury report, boss, you mentioned it. Ron Holland missed his second straight for personal reasons. I hope everything's good with Ron and the family. We know Ron loves to hoop, right? He loves to hoop. He doesn't like taking games off, taking days. He hates missing games, all that stuff. He loves to hoop. So it's got to be for good reason if he's not playing. So prayers up to him and his family. Hope everything is good with them.
Yeah. Ron Jr., Ron Sr., we adore you both. You're both huge in our community, huge in the Pistons community. So definitely hope that all is well with the fam, with you guys individually. I'm excited to get you back. Hopefully the All-Star break helps things move along. Sending lots of love to you guys.
100%. Got some super chats we got to get to, boss, before we go any further. Got to get our guy Clifton. Says Stu. Oh, that's what's up. So we got our first donation of the night. First Stu. That's what's up, Clifton.
Thanks, Clifton.
Clifton's a real one too. Yeah, he's been supporting for a little minute. So I appreciate you, brother, for sure, man. I appreciate that. And Camille, long time no see, bro. He just saw you over there with Eric on his live. Appreciate you, man. Says Detroit. Okay, I'm gonna need you to translate that. Boss.
I don't know.
I'm coming to you like you speak the language. Let me hear Google Translate real quick.
Good with the hearts. Appreciate
Camille, give us a translation for what I got the Detroit part, but
Camille
cards. Go ahead.
Camille hit us with some good news today. You guys know that the Pistons, kind of a while back, sent out international jerseys to their international fans, and Camille's got stuck in customs. He told us about it. Got it. He finally got it. So great news. Bringing the good luck all the way from Turkey. So thank you, Camille.
Appreciate you, brother, for sure. All right. So guys, before we get into tonight's game, we're going to talk suspensions for a little minute. All right.
Is it okay if we grab one more super chat that just came in?
Oh, we got another one? Oh, for sure.
Yes.
Doug, the OG, guys. Yes. Doug has been a Pistons fan, I think, since the 60s. I thought I was something of an OG, but Doug is he's the OG's OG for sure. So he's got a lot of history, a lot of knowledge in his brain for sure. He often shares and stories that he shares as well. Appreciate you, Doug. Doug says,
thank you, Doug.
Here you go, Sarah. You and Deuce are good people, and your show means a lot to all of us. I appreciate you saying that, man. It means a lot to know you guys are rocking with us. You know, we always say, we're going to be talking Pistons anyway. So it's just nice to be able to do it with you guys and be able to react, especially on nights like this when we have a lot to talk about. So as always, Doug, appreciate you, brother. You know what it is, man. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah. And you guys mean a lot to us.
For sure. Yeah, best Pistons community out there. For sure. No question about it.
Agreed.
All right. Okay, boss. Let's talk suspensions real quick.
Okay.
The league finally, guys, handed down their suspensions for Jalen Duren and Isaiah Stewart, and also Miles Bridges and Moussa Diabate. And we were all kind of bracing together like an overbite, guys, just waiting to see who got suspended and for how long. And it just came out today that the Pistons, Isaiah Stewart and Jalen Duren, both were suspended, as we talked about. Isaiah Stewart, via Shams, says that he's going to miss the next 7 games, well, 6 now after tonight. Miles Bridges gets 4, Moussa Diabate gets 4, and JD gets 2 games. So that's what they said. Honestly, I thought it could have been a lot more, so I'm glad that it wasn't. Coming into this game, the Pistons had to rely on their depth, missing, their DPOY candidate, missing their all-star big man. So it was going to take a collective effort, but I thought the Pistons responded well. I'm hearing like a lot of Pistons fans saying, it should have been less games. I mean, that's true, but it could have been a lot more based on reputation. So I'm not going to focus too much on that.
Exactly.
But we know the next game, boss, is against the Knicks. That's going to come after the All-Star break, and the Pistons are still going to be without JD. That'll be his second game he'll miss, and we'll be without Stu as well. So it's going to be tough. But after that, I think they'll settle in just fine, especially once we get JD back, and especially if we get performances from our bigs like we got tonight. So Coach Bickerstaff actually reacted to the suspensions today, guys. And we're going to go ahead and watch that, and we'll come back to that in a second.
I want to take a quick second to just, give a little context to the situation as well. We ask our guys, our big guys in particular, to do a lot for us as far as setting the tone, being the anchor of all the little things and the dirty things that people don't want to do a lot. And you go back and you take a look at it night by night. Guys, they get punished by other teams, right? They get hit, they get banged, they get grabbed, they get face guarded on blockouts, and they just continue to play through it. You don't hear them going out complaining about physicality, complaining about, what other people are doing to them. And so, the narrative that's out there that, we react to everything every time is a disappointing one, to be honest with you.
Interesting stuff there, boss. Any reaction to what he had to say? What stood out to you from that little soundbite?
I mean, what really stood out to me was the fact that, like he said, the narrative of these guys going out there and not doing basketball things and only trying to fight is huge. I've heard people talk about the racism involved with that. I've heard people talk about just kind of the like, if you're not a fan of you can't talk on the Pistons if you think that Stu or Duren, especially Stu, are anything other than valuable pieces to this team. Yeah. So of course Stu has gotten that reputation. There's a couple guys in the league with a reputation like that, but Stu has proven time and time again that he can, control himself. We just talked about how proud we were of him for controlling himself against Valanciunas, against guys that come on under his skin. So he is just, and we talked about how, a couple of weeks ago, he also came up to defend, I think it was Ron in a scuffle. Like, he's just going to do that. Right. And Trajan has reiterated time and time again, and I know this is JB, but Trajan himself has reiterated how he wants high character people. And Stu fits that. Stu is a very high character person, but he's also just not going to let you, run after a guy on his team. No way. And so I do, respect him for it. And I do, I think we'll talk about it a little bit later too. I do also agree that like he needs to understand when it's detrimental to the team. But this, even though it's a 7-game suspension, we proved it tonight. It's not necessarily detrimental to us. It just, again, goes to show the loyalty that Stu has to his teammates. Right. And so that's what I appreciate the most about him. And anybody that's whining about it or complaining about the NBA, I've seen some fans in the East, especially Celtics, Knicks, guys that are kind of, think that they're on our tail, but they're really, over 5 games behind us. Yep. They want the suspension longer. And it's like, I would rather have this kind of guy on our team than a guy who cries and whines about things like maybe a cat, Exactly. So I appreciate what Stu did. I think he definitely has the maturity to understand that it's something that, happened now and can't happen again this season because we need him. Exactly. We want him more than, we need him. We want him as a team. But I agree with JB that it is disrespectful to only, put him in that box of like, he just wants to fight when he's definitely proven more.
I totally agree. Yeah, I totally agree. It's funny. Like, it's just, I was watching a lot of different podcasts and shows the last couple of days. And it was just so many. It's almost like they were trying to push the narrative. Like they were trying to encourage the league to give him. They were like, well, he's going to be out for a long time. Well, guys like Bobby Marks, who's respected in the NBA, he's respectable front office NBA insider. But he was like, he's going to be out for a while. He's going to be like, it's like, why y'all say like, it's almost like they were trying to encourage the league to do it as if they didn't, it would be something weird because they're all kind of galvanizing together and saying the same thing. Right. It just wasn't likely to me. It just, to me, it's like once I realized a lot of those predictions were just kind of things that people wanted to happen. Yeah. Like they wanted it to be a long streak. They wanted him to be out for a long time. So now that the suspensions have come out, it just seems like they think it was too light. Almost like they were upset that he didn't get more games. So you could just tell just from their tone when they were talking about it. Like, oh yeah, he's definitely gone. Like he's repeat offender. Oh, like they were just dropping a bunch of different nuggets to kind of back their point of why he should be out longer. But you know how it is. It's Detroit for everybody, man. It's always going to be that. It's always going to be that. We can't have nothing without somebody complaining about it. So I'm just glad the league and Adam Silver, because if this was David Stern, and then maybe it would have been heavier. Somebody mentioned it earlier in the chat that Ben Wallace got 6 games for Malice at the Palace. Yeah, right. And he mushed Ron Artest, similar to how JD mushed Diabate. Ben just used 2 hands and went full force. And he went to the stands a little bit, but he didn't touch anybody in the stands. But so it's just like I didn't think he was going to get 10, 15, 20, nothing crazy like that. I just didn't see that.
It would have been, I think, in that moment, a real Detroit versus everybody, because I would have been like, how is this happening when Draymond Green is like flagrant? I mean, I just watched the compilation of flagrants he had against another team. And it's just like, and they weren't called. Because for me, so I guess, we talked about Stu, but how do you feel about JD's 2 games? Because for me, JD's foul was initially a flagrant, and that's it. I think if nothing else came from it, it would have been a flagrant 1, move on with the game, or a tech, So how do you feel about him getting 2 games? Because I was expecting 1.
I'm not mad at it. I was expecting one too, but I'm not like when you mush somebody like that, that's disrespectful. Like when and he knows it. He knows it. Like for those who don't know, these guys actually have history going back to high school. They got history. Like Diabate and JD have history going back to high school.
Yeah.
I was trying to clip it, but I couldn't in time. But if you can look at IG, you will find it. These guys been going at it, and JD has kind of always had his number. Even in high school, he was bigger, he was stronger. After his team beat Diabate's team, you saw him barking like, "Get off the court!" Like, so he's always kind of had that edge over Diabate, and it still continues. Diabate, even years later, still can't guard him. Still isn't strong enough. Still is getting bullied. So the PTSD probably cropped up in his mind too. And that's why he gave him that hard foul. Like, enough is enough. But I think when JD mushed him, he probably just felt disrespected on top of already being disrespected over the years in his mind and not being able to overcome JD. So I think the mush was good for 1 game. I think because JD actually had a chance to really hit him when Diabate came after him and he slipped. JD could have hit him. He could have really put him to sleep if he wanted to, but he didn't. But I think the fact that he swung at Miles Bridges too, anytime you swing like that, regardless of if you're reacting or not, they're gonna give you another game.
That's why he got 2. I think
that's why he got the second one.
Because he was backing away from Musa, like he was getting out of there, but he did swing back. So that's why I think he got 2. But it is crazy. Did you see that Musa posted like a long apology to the Hornets? Did you see that?
No, I didn't. I did.
Okay. Do you want me to pull it up to read it to you?
Yeah, you can pull it up.
Let me pull it up real quick. But I
got
just
lots to get to, y'all. So
I just wanted to say, because people were saying like it's funny how both Musa and Miles Bridges felt the need to apologize. Like Miles was a quick one. I don't give a shit what that guy says. Like
not a fan.
He can go. He go read what he did to his girlfriend. Like
domestic abusers, bro. I would never have any respect.
It wasn't just like a domestic violence that was taken out of context. Like no, it was bad.
No respect.
So I just wanted to read this to you. Let's see if I can find it.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy work.
But he posted a long one. But I saw people say like it's funny how the Charlotte people felt like they needed to apologize for what they did when our Pistons guys had no apology, because it's kind of what we expect from them. Like we're like, okay, like like that's typical. Like Duran's not just gonna let you run over him, and Stu's not gonna let you do anything to any of his teammates. So
most Pistons fans won't even expect an apology.
Let me read this to you.
Like why? For what? That's who we are. Go ahead.
Let me read you Musa's. And again, this is no shade to Musa. This is just, again, to show just how different our organizations are. To the Hornets coaches, staff, front office, teammates, and best fans in the NBA. As a player, I pride myself on my passion and my commitment to give everything on the court during every possession. However, in the heat of a highly competitive and physical matchup, I allowed my emotions to get the better of me, and for that, I am truly sorry. I understand the responsibility I carry as a professional athlete and as a role model, and I view this as a learning experience, and I'm fully committed to growing from it both as a player and a person. The Charlotte fan base has been incredibly supportive since I joined the team, and it is my goal to continue making a positive impact on the Hornets organization and the Charlotte community as we continue to ascend. I look forward to many more nights where the moose gets loose, not just that loose. Thank you for your understanding and continued support, Moose. If Stu came out with that, I'd be like, bro, no need.
You'd be like, why?
No need.
Like, that's what I'm saying. we already know what it is.
So
we already know what it is.
I don't know if it was out of character for him or what, but like chasing a guy down like that.
It was. That's what they said. Yeah. They said that's not usually how he responds. He usually, more has a cooler head more times than not. But once again, I think it's just the history with those two guys. It's just the history.
Yeah, so I was just curious, like, it was just, and I think Miles just said, like, sorry, Charlotte fan base, I should do better or something like that quick. But the Musa, apology, I just want to read, because again, this is nothing against Diabate. I actually think he's a very good up-and-coming player. But it just goes to show, like, how us as fans, like, we're not expecting an apology, because we're like, this is just how it it's been in Detroit culture as well. Like, you just stick up for your teammates. I mean, there's more debates about whether Duncan should have joined the fight than there is debates about.
I'm fine with that.
I'm cool. Duncan has shown his.
Nobody's expecting. You just
Duncan
said
has shown his dog.
You just, for the same reason you said, we know our team, we know our guys. The same reason you said if Stu did apologize, we'd be like, why? We know Stu. It's the same reason we don't expect Duncan Robinson to get involved. Like, that's just not who he is, and it's fine. It's okay. We don't ask these guys to be anything that they're not. Just knock down threes, producing a basketball court, play deep. Like, that's all we're at. Like, it would be kind of weird if we saw Duncan like all trying to be like, whoa, what are you doing?
Exactly. I'd be like, Duncan, no, you're gonna be snapped, Duncan. No.
Don't catch no fade, bro.
Duncan, no, you're shooting.
I was fine with it. And the thing with Duncan is, like, I think with him, he responded that way because I genuinely think, guys, that he's trying to help Stu overcome his lack of having control in certain moments. Because even the game against the Nuggets, when Valanciunas tried to throw Stu to the floor, if you notice when he went to the bench, he said to Stu, way to keep your emotions in check. He said, what do you say? That's growth. Way to show the growth. That's growth. You could see him. That's exactly what he said to Stu. So it's like he's trying to help Stu get to that next level of just being able to always control his emotions. So I think when he saw Stu have that relapse, he's like, come on, man. I thought you just showed the growth, bro. Like, come on, man. You just showed me you could do it. So I think it was that kind of thing with him. Just more so upset with Stu not being able to. But once again, we expect that. Yeah, there you go, Zion. Look at the growth. That's what he said. Look at the growth. So I think when he saw him take one step forward and then one step back, he's like, come on, bro. Like, I think that's all that was. So I'm not mad at that.
And for Duncan, like, I think if someone swung on him, he would be in it.
Yeah.
He would be in it. He also, like, it was just moments of, like, he wasn't in it already. Why jump in, you know? So I have because he's shown us time, like, again, like, he's been channeling his anger into his game. We've seen him hit threes and go like, you know, like, so, but you know, he is a guy that if he ever was in it with someone, he could definitely count on his teammates, whether it's Duran or Stu, to come in and take care of it. Ron as well. Yeah. We talked about that. Like, again, we miss Ron, but
he didn't play.
Yeah. If Ron was in that, he'd be off the bench, guys. So we got Ron gets his break, but he's not suspended. So whatever.
All the dog pound would have been out. Except for B-Ball Paul. Everybody would have been out.
B-Ball and LaMelo, and I think one other guy off of the bench. Grant Williams, he came off the bench as well for Charlotte. So the NBA kind of looked over that, because if you're on the bench and you cross the line, if you get on the court, it's usually an automatic 1-game suspension. So we're kind of lucky the NBA overlooked that as well. Basically, you know, B-Ball Paul didn't advance. No one advanced to the mess, but they all stepped on the court, and that's looked down upon. So we're also a little bit lucky for that. So
because the thing, like, so once I saw that LaMelo wasn't on the list, I'm like, okay, well, B-Ball Paul better not be, because LaMelo was way on the other side of the court trying to talk to Diabate. He wasn't in the game. You would think he was because of where he was on the court, but he wasn't in the game either. So once I saw he didn't get one, I'm like, okay, B-Ball Paul can't get one. He took 2 or 3 steps and they brought him back. So and I'm happy that the league did not. I'm glad they were consistent with that, because if you'd lost B-Ball Paul tonight, this would have been a totally different game.
That man, guys, we'll get to him, but that man, I can't even believe it, what he did for us tonight. So a few more things for me on the actual suspension. We kind of hit on it already, but that's what I expected as far as the 7 games. I thought it'd be 5 to 7, 5 to 10. Eric said the same thing when he was here last episode. So I'm not mad at that at all, guys. Take it on the chin and just keep moving. We're going to be fine. We showed tonight we're going to be fine. It's not going to be a cakewalk, right? But we can and we will survive without Isaiah Stewart because of our depth. Our depth has held us down all year. So the Pistons have the kind of depth that if any one guy goes down, we won't dramatically fall off a cliff, right? If we lose Cade, that's going to be a huge blow. He's our MVP, right? But even when he's been out, Daniss Jenkins has come in and come right to the rescue for the Pistons. He's helped us win games. He's helped us close games. So, and that brings me to Paul Reed. We're going to get the stats later, but that brings me to Paul Reed, guys. All the things I just said about Daniss Jenkins, you can say about Paul Reed, right? When JD was out with the injury, Paul Reed came in, 28 and 10 game, held the fort down. Pistons barely missed a beat. And you guys have heard me talk about in the past, you know, how Paul Reed needs more minutes and why I hope JD and Stu will start. We'll get to that as later. But he needs to be part of that 3-big rotation. I mean, now he's going to get it. Now he's going to get those minutes. And we saw him getting tonight. So
I think Paul Reed is going to make a name for himself in this
What's up,
stretch.
Tom?
What up, though, Tom?
Good
Yeah,
to
for
see
sure,
you.
bro. 100%, man. I think Paul Reed is going to make a name for himself during this stretch, guys. A 7-game stretch when fans around the league expect the Pistons to fall in the standings, and they don't. People are going to see that Paul Reed is a big reason as to why, for sure.
I literally had to double check with Deuce. So like we signed him to a 2-year contract. Like we have him through another year, because if I'm any other team right now, I'm that doesn't have a center, LA, but they, he's hunted. So I'm glad that we have him through another year. He also deserves the money he gets. So hopefully we are able to retain him longer, but holy crap. Shoot. Paul Reed, you're doing the things. It's awesome.
Yeah. So we're witnessing, guys, the official coming out party for Paul Reed with this Detroit Pistons team. And you could say it to a lesser extent about guys like Tolu Smith, who's been solid, been with the team for 2 years now. He's reliable, comes in, does the dirty work. So we're gonna get to those guys as well. Boss, the Pistons' next game is against the Knicks. How much you want to bet that Cat, who missed last game, is going to be playing next game? Now that Stu is not playing.
Well,
I would put money on that.
Do it, Cat, because you got 6 points and 1 rebound in your game before this. That's what drove me crazy about the Knicks fans that were like, oh, they beat us without Cat and without OG. I will admit, OG does tend to pop off against us. But Cat, the game before, he did nothing. And, so I mean, I guarantee it. I guarantee he does play.
That's the thing, though, because Stu played that game when he struggled. So I'm sure now that Stu is out, that's what I'm saying. I'm willing to bet money on the fact that since Stu isn't playing now, because last game he had a little eye injury. I can't play. Yeah. Right? And he sat out because Stu was there. I can guarantee you he's going to play next game.
Finished the game with the eye injury, missed our game, then played the next. It's like,
and then played the next. Come on, man.
But here's the thing. Tolu Smith can go against him. I don't know if you guys caught Clyde Frazier's. Like, as long as you go and attack the boards powerfully, you can beat Cat.
Yeah.
If you get, as long as you pull down a rebound with 2 hands and you drive to the basket with 2 hands, you can beat Cat.
Mm-hmm. So he went, like you mentioned, he went from going to having 6 points against Stu the first game to acting like he was sick and hurt after all that time, all that, and now he's gonna come back and play. It's gonna be funny. Like if that happens, I'm gonna literally laugh out loud because it's gonna be clear as to why he did it. And Doug coming back around says Paul signed for less to stay with the Pistons too. Yes, he did.
Yep.
Trajan Langdon is cooking. Like, think about the guys who are on this team who are playing well above their contract. Paul Reed is making $5 million a year.
Yeah.
Daniss Jenkins is making $2 million a year. Javonte Green, I don't even know what he's making, but it can't be that much more if it is more than that.
I'll tell you.
Isaiah Stewart is making $15 million a year. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy. So the thing, Trajan Langdon is cooking. He's cooking, bro. Like, I want to see all these guys get paid, but from that side of the fence, man, he's $3 million for Javonte Green.
He's on
all these guys are out playing their contract. That's insane, man. So I want to shout that out too.
Yeah. And look, he's on a 1-year partially guaranteed $3 million. I bet he resigns with us for that same amount. He does deserve, I think, at least 5-6. I think we could double it and still afford him because he deserves it. But he wants a home, and he's proven it here. So I can see us taking care of him in that way. So I do expect him to stay with us next year as well.
Yep, I love it, man. I love the culture because it's making guys want to stay here and not focus so much on. How much we're getting paid. It's like another
team like that is the Spurs. They also have gotten a lot of key guys for less money. And this is where I think OKC will hit a wall. OKC has a lot of valuable things in terms of trades and in terms of stuff like that. But they also kind of put a lot of money into 2 players that Jalen Williams hasn't had his best compared to last year. He hasn't bounced back. And Chet Holmgren, I think, has kind of given up on growing. I think he's kind of stuck where he is compared to we have Duren. I think Duren will continue to grow as a player. So I'm curious to see what they end up doing with a bunch of their star power as well. But they also have young guys that, when you're a good team, you do have guys that will sacrifice some contract and some money to stay with you.
Right.
So it'll be curious how they grow after this year as well, because they're deep. And then, like I said, the Spurs have also been really deep with some guys that they've been able to pay a little bit less, just like us. So I'm curious. They also waived Sochan today, which is so curious. I'm
Yeah,
so
that's
curious
crazy.
where he ends up. So curious where he ends up. I don't want him in the East, honestly. Like, I know that he hasn't had the best season this year. He's not the great offensive player, but he's a great defender. So I don't want to go against him in the East as a team that loves defense. So
It's funny you mentioned the Spurs too, because that's where Trajan Langdon spent some of his time with the Spurs. So we're gonna get to that as well. Got a comment here that says LeVert is making 17 million, Huerter 18. So well, here's the thing, bro. We already know what the plan was in the offseason with Malik Beasley. That was already set in stone. So had that happened, we wouldn't even be having this conversation. And as far as think about Duncan Robinson's deal. It's only partially guaranteed after this year, 3-year deal. So it's not like he's still getting stuff done. He's still doing things done, and he has his team firmly in first place. So I would say he is cooking, regardless of that.
Robinson, yeah, but is LeVert? Yeah. LeVert is also a guy that we can trade after the season, and Huerter's contract is up as well.
So Huerter's contract is up as well.
That's 35 mil right there. And I'm not saying LeVert hit some great shots for us tonight. I still think he had good defense. We'll get to him. But those are guys that, when you think about, it's something that we've talked about, and maybe we'll bring it up at the end of the show. But the NBA has talked about expansions. So when that happens, we can only keep 8 players. And Deuce and I kind of had a little bit of a conversation about what 8 we would keep. So if we get there, I would love, it depends. We have a lot to talk about today. It depends on if we're there, but I would love to hear everybody else's takes on who you would keep and who you wouldn't, because that's another thing that might be a factor in how this team looks in a couple of years.
Philip says, since New York playoffs, I knew we had something in. Yeah, last year in the playoffs, bro. That's when he got a chance. Once again, that's when he got the opportunity, right? Because once again, Isaiah Stewart wasn't available again, right? So when he gets the opportunity, he shows it. And the thing is, he's even better now this year because he's bigger, he's stronger, and he's just more confident playing with these guys. He kind of just got thrown to the Wolves because he hadn't really played much last year at all. So to get thrown to a playoff series like that, that's tough, right? So now that he's had the reps and he's bigger and stronger and more polished, he's going to be even better. And Philip, I agree. He did have his moments last year in the playoffs as well. So I expect a better Paul Reed come playoff time this year, though. That is for sure.
Exactly.
All right, boss. Let's get to the game and actually talk about it now. So as far as the starters, guys, the Pistons went with the starting 5 of Cade Cunningham, Duncan Robinson. Dude, what up?
Did you want to talk about Trajan's interview at all, or do you want to?
Yeah, we'll save it for later. After the post. After we do that. Yeah.
Cool. Want to be sure.
Starting 5, Cade Cunningham, Duncan Robinson, Ausar Thompson, Tobias Harris, and Paul Reed. So, guys, as you guys know, the poll is going up for the belt. Who gets the belt tonight, guys? So, you guys let us know, and let me go ahead and put it up right now. All right. So, that is live, guys. So, you guys take off with that, and boss, we will check back with that in a few. All right. Initial thoughts. Boss, I'm going to let you kick it off. A lot to get to in this game, a lot you could have talked about, but you let us know what it was that you saw, and then we'll come back and talk about it.
Man, guys, I mean, the Raptors are a fun team. They're a fun young team. They were in third place for a while. They are contenders in the East, so I wasn't thrilled about going into this game knowing that we had, 2 guys on the bench, but I also knew that you couldn't count us out because we have B-Ball Paul, and we have guys, our depth has developed this season, luckily, so we can rely on a lot of these people. We did better than my expectations. I thought that the Raptors would do, a little bit more damage than they did, but we really held them down. We got out to a lead early and we maintained that. That's exactly what we need to do. We couldn't let them get the head start because they are a good 3-point shooting team. They do have great defenders. So it was huge to just get out to that lead. And to have 4 or 5 starters in double digits is beautiful. And I mean, truly no complaints. The turnovers were kind of an issue, but as even Greg Kelser and Johnny Kane were talking about, like when you play at that pace, turnovers are kind of inevitable. There were no turnovers really on bad passes. There were no turnovers really on silly. It was just mostly like in transition when you do have to play to that pace. So it's just a little bit of that. But everybody that played tonight, like truly played to expectations. And so, I mean, I really, truly have no complaints about the game. It was fun all around. We kept basically an 8-point plus lead the whole time. And then once we were in the 20, we really didn't let that go. So yeah, that just felt, it was just a lot of fun because this was a Raptors team that had snuck up on good teams throughout this season. And we were just able to quell them. And I don't know if it was because, like when we lost to the Wizards, like if they approached it in a way that, oh, they've got 2 guys suspended and one of their other best young defenders, young players is out, like we got this easy. I don't know if that's how they approached it, but we really just shut them down. We really just shut them down. So it was just a highlight game for me. And I think that they said at the beginning of the game, like we've lost to them 5 out of the last 6 times. The Raptors are also like our Bucks, so that felt good to win, because I kind of didn't realize that the Raptors are who we broke our 28 game losing streak against.
I was at that game.
You remember? You were at that thing? Okay. I was actually in Canada. I was actually surrounded by Raptors fans when we won that game. And so that was
minority.
Thrilling. Yeah. So
of course for you, right?
Yeah, exactly. So I thought it was just a really fun game and we just really played our way. I honestly couldn't believe our 3-point shooting. That was amazing. So
yeah, for sure. They're hard to beat when they do that.
Maybe beat them straight. Maybe you're right, Devin.
Yeah, I was hoping just to, whether we lost or would have lost this game, I was just hoping to see good effort for a shorthanded Pistons team. Win or lose, I wouldn't have been mad if we lost this game. Being down JD and Stu together is tough. But as long as we played to our style, did it for 48 minutes, I would have been happy either way. I really would have. And I got a lot more than I bargained for sure, because that's exactly what they did. And it just showed that even with guys out, no contest, says Kevin. Even with guys out, they can dominate teams. This is a quality Raptors team. Like they were in 3rd place for a good portion of the year and higher than that in other points. So I thought out the gate, the Pistons were a little slow. They had some unforced turnovers early, kind of shot themselves in the foot, had some empty possessions where they had some point blank shots and just, run out. So they just kind of blew. Had not been for that, would have been up way more than they were. That double-digit lead could have been close to 20, right? So, but I thought in the second quarter, led by the bench Bob, once again, they just turned up the defense and they got running because and you mentioned the 3-point shooting. Last game, the Pistons shot 20% from 3, right? Yeah. And they still got to win against a good Charlotte Hornets team. So they've shown that they can win despite not shooting the ball well, as long as they just play to their style, right? Good defense, transition up. When they play that way, they can beat anybody regardless of the shooting. So against the Hornets, they were 5 for 25 from 3. But tonight, in the first half alone, they were 9 for 17. So they pretty much doubled up the 3-point shooting in the first half from last game. And so when they are hitting down the 3 ball, when they're knocking that down, that's when they're really hard to beat, because that's just a bonus on top of how tough they are when they play to their style. Right? They've shown they can win when they're not knocking down shots. But when they are, forget about it. Forget about it. And so that's why I just love how they always prioritize the things they can control. They prioritize the effort. They prioritize the defense. And then if the shooting is there, great. If it's not, we can still win. So that was what I really appreciate about this game, is just the effort. The shooting was a bonus for me.
Yeah, agreed. The effort was there. And again, this was a team that we just came out confident in terms of, like you mentioned, the slow start. I agree, but then we finished the quarter, I think 29-19. So we still were able to pull it out with that. A little bit of luck, but also just huge on the defensive end. I just, again, like this is a team that's coming off of finding out that, their 2 centers are suspended for 2 games, and they just want to go out but it showed no worry. Like I remember I think I was on Reddit and someone commented, a Raptors fan was commenting like, oh, like we, have our center out. It was Poeltl, who did make his return tonight after a long absence, I think 21 game absence. And so they were like, well, now it's a little bit more even. And someone commented under them, they were like, you're going to eat your words and you see what B-Ball Paul does. And they did. And I told you, I had some hesitations about B-Ball Paul only because it was just, pressure, a little bit of pressure. And we've seen him handle it well, like very well. And again, like this doesn't shock me. It doesn't shock me that he handled it well, but I was just trying to consider the fact that like he is human and he has a little bit of pressure. The fact that like the 2 other centers aren't there. And he's kind of the main guy. Like he is going to be the main target, the main lobs, like, he's a starter. So I didn't know if his effort would be there, but I wasn't sure if his game style would live up to that expectation. And it absolutely did. It did above and beyond. So,
we were talking about that. We'll get to B-Ball Paul. I wasn't concerned. I just feel like he was licking his chops because he's finally getting an opportunity. Because when you stay ready the way guys like he and Daniss Jenkins do, when you work your tail off in the gym as much as you do and as hard as you do, you can't wait to get on the court. Like, of course, it's a difference when you think you might play, but not maybe in garbage minutes, maybe at the end of the game, maybe there's foul trouble for a few minutes, as opposed to, look, we coming to you tonight, bro. Like, you're licking your chops because it's like, I finally get to show and pay off all the hard work I've been putting in when I didn't know I was going to play. So, like, that's why you see Daniss going off when he gets the opportunity. Well, he's here. He's ingratiated now. But before, whenever he get DMPs and he come in the game out of nowhere, he going to work because the work is fine. He's getting a chance to show it. And so I think Paul Reed is the same way.
Agreed.
Eric just said last show, when he sees him, and when they're getting up shots in practice, he's dripping in blood or in sweat. Like all these guys are like dripping in blood, right? Blood, sweat, and tears. But he's dripping in sweat, right? So it's just like, we don't see that stuff. You know what I'm saying? So it's just nice to hear that he's always putting the work in. So when that happens, when you finally get a chance to show it, more times than not, these guys, especially when they're as talented as these guys are, like Daniss and B-Ball Paul, who can start on other teams, they ready to show out. So I wasn't worried about it. We'll get to him later, but I do understand your trepidation as far as just the nerves piece of it. Like, is he going to actually do it? The 1-2's going to be there. Is he going to actually do it? I wasn't worried about it. But go ahead.
It's been a thing for me. It's been a consistent thing. I'm just never like 100% like, we're going to win, because whenever I'm like, yeah, we're going to do great, we lose. Like, that's how I feel. So when I'm always hesitant and I always try to come up with reasons why.
As positive as you are,
I know,
I'm going to need you to like transfer some of that to some of your expectations.
Positive as I am, I just try to be, I'm just such a realist of like, but this could happen and this could happen and this could happen. But it always, the Pistons continue to be on the upside of my expectations and not
we got to keep your blood pressure down.
Yeah, for true.
As far as, so that was first half, right? So second half, and we'll get to some more super chats. Second half, I loved what I saw. We talk about it often. Like, first half, come out the gate strong. Second half, you have an opportunity to shut the door, let your main guys chill, get some rest. But at times, more so early this year, more so than later in the season. Early in this year, we've seen these guys kind of keep up leads, make it a game, especially on the road, get the crowd back into it. So it's just nice to see the second half. Pistons didn't play around. The Raptors had their moments here and there, but they never really threatened. I think they got to 8, I think, at one point. And after that, they turned it right back up again. So I just like the fact that they kept their foot on the gas. They didn't allow the Raptors to get back into this game. And it's funny because Greg Kelser actually said, guys, during the game, he said, man, the Raptors look tired. They look gassed. This was like middle of third quarter. So,
and that's a running team.
But the Pistons didn't. And you know why? Because even when we're down our DPOI, even when we're down our all-star big, we're still deeper than the Raptors. We're still deeper than them. So they played very inspired defensively. It was just nice to see. And it's a great way to go into all-star break with a good win despite being shorthanded. So I loved what I saw, man.
Yeah. And our bench, again, just kind of outweighed theirs. They have a lot. The Raptors are a team I really like. I personally do like, Scotty Barnes has continued to improve, and I do like the way he's fitting with his team. I've always been a Brandon Ingram fan. I do like RJ Barrett, Jamal Shed off the bench. I do like some of these guys. Colin Murray-Boyles, who we did not see tonight because he was injured. He's a backup center to Pirtle. I like him as well. So someone mentioned that they kind of are like us last year. I do think that they're up and coming. I don't think that they're going away. I think that they will be a team to be in the East for a few years. I don't know if they're number 1, but they're definitely top 5, which they are right now. So, I just agree that we were just, able to shut that down and kind of, this is a running team. And for you to notice, for me to notice, for Greg Kelser to notice that they're tired, this goes to show how great of a team we are, no matter who's in with us. Some of the lineups tonight were crazy. Caris with Cade.
Yeah. I liked it.
Me too. I mean, we talked about it. Caris works better off ball. And that's when he was getting his shots and when he was getting his steals. When he wasn't in for Cade and with Jenkins. Not that, him and Jenkins work well, but when he wasn't, handling the ball, wasn't the main ball handler, he works really well. So and some of the lineups tonight were really fun. And again, this just grows our depth into the playoffs. I love that we got to see Tolu Smith. It's just, again, another weapon to use later on. So
King hit it on the head. When you play defense like we do, your conditioning gets better. Teams are not used to that. Exactly. And we can play up and down the whole game because of our depth. Guys aren't going to look tired because we have so many guys we can bring in. Other teams don't have that, which is why Greg Kelser said come third quarter, they look tired. because they don't have the same guys they can trust throughout the game to play, because they want to play the same way. They want to run too. They want to get stops and get out in transition too. That's how the Raptors play. But they don't have the personnel, and they're not deep enough to be able to have guys fresh the whole game to be able to do it. And we do. And that's the difference. Yeah. Pistons have the best defense in the league. Go Pistons. You already know what's up, Rodney. Yeah. Kevin says, I was watching Paul Reed in warm-ups the other night because Kevin went to the Charlotte game. He said, dude didn't miss a shot during warm-ups, either midi or three, and his release point is really high. He's a better shooter than I knew. Me too, bro.
He was 7 for 7 in the first quarter.
Yeah, it doesn't look orthodox, but I don't even care, bro. Like, and they give it to him until he starts hitting it. Then they start getting up on him.
Open the game with a Paul Reed 3.
Open the game.
This is a guy that 2 years ago I visited my family that lives in Nashville. We went to the Pistons Grizzlies game. The Grizzlies blew us out, but I remember telling people around me, like, that's Paul Reed, like, and he's really good. It's like unorthodox shot, but he's really good. I told my stepdad straight up, like, you're gonna hate his shooting form, but he's gonna make it back. So this is nice. Yeah,
you'll love it more once you see what happens after he shoots the ball. Right, when you see it go in, like the form somehow doesn't look as weird. It's just like, oh, that's B-ball Paul. That's good.
Yeah, I just want to get to this. Still I rise. So crazy. Boston's gone the wild nights ever. I know.
I told him, like, bro,
I watched
This is a sign that you need to be here the rest of the season. Like, these Nuggets games, I know they fun. I know they're the truth, but every time you leave, something of note happens in the Pistons game.
And every time. I got to see the first half. I was happy with it. I was driving, listening to the third quarter. They started getting the fight. I was like, should I pull over? Should I pull over to watch this right now?
No.
And I was just, and thank God they pulled it out, because after that, and I was a little bummed because then the Nuggets gave it away. They were up most of the game and gave it away at the end to the Cavs. I was like, come on. But yeah, I agree. Just quick comments about that. The fight was fun. The suspensions, we talked about that good, but I love that what was crazy to me is, again, like I've mentioned this multiple times on the podcast, like I don't want us to start throwing up 3-pointers when that's what the opposite team is doing. Yeah, and so in that game, we proved it, that like we can still win a game in the paint, even if our opponent is throwing up 3. So I was definitely bummed, but I know that, I caught a little bit of the show. I know that Eric Vincent filled in wonderfully for me. It was a great, absolutely fantastic game. But yeah, I was bummed. I was like, oh man, I should have just stayed home and watched, and then, been on the pod for Pistons Hornets.
Well, now you know for next time. You know what I'm saying?
I only got like 4 games left. My next game is Nuggets Knicks. I cannot wait to
Who we playing that game? I got to check and see.
I don't think you guys have it. I think there's only one more game that overlaps, but I don't think we have a game that night, the Pistons. But Nuggets Knicks will be fun. You guys know that maybe I'll make a sign about Cat that has to do with the Pistons. I don't know.
Okay. But we'll see.
Just troll them with Detroit in Denver.
Yeah. Man, I hope they blow out the Knicks. That's another story. All right.
Yeah.
But yeah. So Devin says Cade was killing Scotty. He the best player. Yeah, for all those people saying Scotty Barnes the best player in the draft, Evan Mobley is the best player in the draft, Jalen Green best player in the draft, Franz Wagner is best player. It's like, bro, no questions about that anymore. Like, that conversation is just dead now. Like, you look silly even trying to have one. Last thing, boss, you talk about the depth. Are the Pistons without JD and Stu still better than the Raptors?
Yeah,
I think so.
I think so too.
Isn't that crazy to say?
So Scotty Barnes is also in DPOY conversations. He's actually above Stu in them. And we saw it tonight. He had some blocks. Yes. He's top 5 right now. Stu's not even in the mention, but they had some talk. We saw it with the blocks tonight, all this stuff. And again, it
just shows how good we are, bro.
Tonight, and look, like they were waiting on Jakob Poeltl to come back, and he was on a minutes restriction. He wasn't great. And Colin Murray-Boyles, who's their backup center, was also out with a thumb injury, so we don't really know what that looks like. But to go to our third string center, even a fourth string, like Tolu to me is like B-ball in the fact that he is a rebound magnet. He is attracted to the glass. He does not leave that space. He will run you over. He is a big body out there, and he's also not going to be hesitant. Like he knows his game and he plays it well. I think that we're we're better. And look, tonight we got lucky with Cade was hitting threes. I wanted to say we got lucky. We know that Cade can do this. We just haven't seen him turn it on from behind the perimeter in a while, like to the extent that he did tonight, I would say.
Yeah.
Duncan hit a couple, but, was a little bit cold. I mean, this is a team that like, okay, go ahead and drop down to eighth. I would love to play you in 5 games. Like someone mentioned way earlier, this is a 5-game elimination. I wouldn't say that it's a sweep because they are talented and they are a good team. Yeah, exactly.
Isn't that crazy to say though?
So I know. I mean, that's this whole thing. A bunch of us are bummed. I'm just more bummed about Stu not being here. I asked you earlier. He can't even enter the facility suspended. So we will not see them on the bench for next game and Stu either. We will be okay. But it's just a bummer because these are our guys. These are our guys that are our team. So
you get a chance to go grow his farmland and go work.
Yeah, he's gonna farm.
Rest up because he was limping.
And look, he was someone that I think that the Pistons admin did a question a while ago, like, "What are your hot takes?" And he said, "Rest. Rest is what makes you better." So here's his long-term rest.
And it's coming now.
You know what? Exactly. And again, like we miss him. We have a kind of a difficult streak coming up. Mm-hmm. The way we handle it, we have the Knicks and then the Bulls, and then the Spurs, and then OKC, and then the Cavs. Hard teams, tough teams. But the way we handled the Raptors tonight, way less worried. We just handled it like it was any other day. We handled it like we weren't even missing 2 players. Mm-hmm. Nothing looked out of sync at all. So
that's just because we have more starters on our bench than anybody in the league.
Absolutely. So,
I agree with you. Philip, I did not miss your super chat, bro. I was coming to you next. Appreciate you as always, brother. Philip says, all these players are NBA players. They all know how to play. It all comes down to communication and my favorite word, togetherness.
Yes.
How many All-Stars join All-Stars and it don't? Yeah. How many All-Stars join All-Stars and it doesn't work? I totally agree. That's why it's about togetherness. It's about winning as a team. That's how we've never won with the big 3, big 4. We've always done it together as a balanced unit with hard work, right? And togetherness, like you mentioned. So that's, the recipe is there, bro. And we're not even a finished product yet. And we're still beating teams without 2 of our best players. And we're blowing them out on their home court. Before this game, we snapped 2 streaks. The Knicks and the Hornets. Yeah. And we just made easy work, light work of the Raptors. So we're just blowing through these. We're just blowing through these teams right now. Not even full strength. And this is still not our final form as far as our roster when we get to that championship level. We're still early in this process and we're already showing what we can do. So enjoy it, guys. Smell the roses. This is a good time to be a Pistons fan for us to be picking up dubs and dominating Eastern Conference and Western Conference teams the way we are. And we're still nowhere near our ceiling. As far as roster construction, as far as these guys growing, nowhere near. Scary thoughts, scary hours for the league, man, and they know it. That's probably why they try and get Stu suspended for longer than he needs to be. Anyway, let's go ahead and
wow, we're already like almost an hour in.
It's gonna be a long one, y'all. It's the last one before All-Star break. We gotta get everything in. What's up?
If you want to check the poll, I have to
let's do that.
Hop off for just a second, and I will be right back.
Do your thing. Let's check out this poll, guys. So here we go. Who gets the belt? And I saw somebody earlier say that, what's up with this poll? I did it that way on purpose because there was only 2 guys realistically who were even really in the conversation, right? And even Cade played great, man. Like Cade played incredible. But as far as who the belt's going to go to, it's probably going to go to B-Ball Paul. Paul Reed. So as far as who gets the belt, 54% says Paul Reed, 18% for Cade Cunningham, 13% for B-Ball Paul Wall, and 16% for Paul Mother Father Reed. So I'm glad y'all showed love to all of those Paul Reed options. But yeah, I definitely think Paul Reed was. I think PD was like, bro, what in the world was going on with this poll, bro? But yeah, definitely Paul Reed, man. Like the things that he did tonight in this game was just spectacular stuff. So, boss, I was saying for the poll, it's got Paul Reed 3 times and Cade once, and I thought like those were the only 2 guys who realistically were in the conversation. So
I know he had the belt to give last time. Did he give it and they said no, keep it? Like what happened there?
Ooh, I'm not sure. But it needs to stay with him. We'll see once the admin drops the latest.
It's absolutely insane.
The latest locker room. That should be fun to see. Okay. All right, guys. Initial thoughts finally complete. Boss, let's move to some box scores. Let's move to some box scores. Let's start with Cade Cunningham, man. For those who still forgot about Cade, we're going to remind them again. Tonight, guys, Cade Cunningham finished with 28 points on 9 for 14 shooting, 6 for 11 for 3, 6 threes for Cade. That's the most he's had in a while. 4 6 from the free throw line, 7 boards, 9 assists, 3 turnovers for a 3-to-1 turnover ratio, which is good. Assist turnover ratio, 3 steals, and a block for 4 stocks for Cade, man. In only 30 minutes, boss. They don't get more efficient than that. But let me know what you saw from Cade in this game. Incredible stuff.
64% field goal, 9 for 14, 6 from 11 from the 3. That's like most of my notes are just hitting threes in the second, the third, hitting threes. He hit, it felt like almost every 3. So to even see 6 of 11, that's shocking because it felt like 11 of 11.
Yeah. He's shooting well.
In the second, too, he had a nice cut to a dunk. It was after Ausar was blocked, and then Ausar was like, where do I go with the ball with this? Because he got it back, and he just got it right to Cade. He had a nice cut, and they couldn't guard him. He had a knockaway in the third to a Woo steal, which led to the Huerter reverse layup.
Yeah.
He had a steal on Grady Dick. Like, he was just doing it from both ends. He looked solid out there. It's actually kind of shocking that he didn't get a triple-double because the way he was playing was – fantastic. And 30 minutes is exactly where I want to see our all-star at. That's like, beautiful. It's beautiful. And to record 4 stocks on top of 28 points and just, the shooting percentage was amazing. He only recorded one foul, and all 7 of his rebounds were also defensive, which again, just goes to show what he's doing on both ends. The turnovers, he had the most turnovers of the game. I feel like people are going to come in here and talk about LeVert turnover ratio, but he didn't. He only had 1. But he just did Cade all-star things. And I think if we had to play him for longer, he would have had a triple-double, but we didn't have to. So to do that in 30 minutes is just fantastic. And he just really held it down out there. I love seeing him play with Jenkins. I love seeing him play with LeVert. I just loved him really out there. He was really play creating for everybody. I mean, he had the most assists on the team by a mile. The next most assists was Ausar at 4. So he was out there just doing everything that I want in a point guard.
Yeah, he looked like an MVP tonight. That's why I had to bring out forgot about. Yeah, granted, he looked like an MVP tonight for sure. If he's gonna keep this up, he's gonna win the MVP. Especially if the Pistons finish in first place in the Eastern Conference, which they probably will, maybe even the league at this point. I think he has a really good chance to win it. I'm not gonna say he is yet, but he has as good a chance as anybody, I think.
I think he could be above Luka. I know that they just love Luka on the Lakers. Exactly. Like he should have been above Luka. And I get Jokic and SGA are just gonna kind of be the front runners because they deserve it, and that's who it's at. But like Cade should be 3rd. I don't understand, why he's not. I know Luka's kind of up there with that. He can score and he does get up there with assists, which I appreciate in a point guard. Like you want that, but like, but then he's just kind of stalemate on defense. Like this is a two-way player that's almost averaging a double-double, a triple-double on points and assists and recording stocks. So
yeah, that's part I was going to say too about Cade. Because first things first, you saw early in this game, the Raptors just trapping Cade every opportunity. Right, he just in the first quarter they kept trapping him, making him get rid of the ball, and he was making him pay. He was making the right decisions with the basketball out of the trap. So it's funny. After that, you notice the Raptors started kind of going underneath on those screens and not doubling anymore. And that's when Cade kind of played chess. He said, "Okay, you're gonna go underneath. Okay, now I'm gonna light you up from." That's why he kept taking them. That's why because they were giving them to him. Like he was playing chess. You're gonna double. Okay, make the right play. You're gonna lay off. Okay, I'm gonna make you pay. Like either way, he was just playing. That's just that mindset he has of just knowing how to control a game, like we always talk about. And you mentioned the defense, boss. When the Pistons turned it up in the second quarter, you saw Cade looking to push it at every opportunity to get them out. He's fast. He's deceptively fast north and south with that basketball when he's pushing, when his hair is flowing behind. It's funny to see. But they really got to their style of play, just turning stops into offense. And in the second half, he took it to another level. Like it all started with his defense, though. Like he was moving his feet very well, just taking the ball away from guys on the perimeter, and also swatting away shots in the paint. So he's a versatile defender. He can take it from you, move his feet on the perimeter without fouling. He can also do some dirty work down low and swat some shots away. So that defensive versatility is another reason why I think he should be the MVP. And I've said it before. We've said it about all the time. When you see Cade active defensively the way he was tonight, you know he's feeling good physically. You know he's tired. You know he's sick. You know he's not feeling well when he's playing defense and trying to strip the ball and trying to play defense with his hands. When he's moving his feet on the perimeter and standing in front and taking the ball away and forcing turnovers and tough shots, that's how you know Cade Cunningham is feeling great physically. So I thought he was incredible on both sides of the ball. Like you look at guys like Luka, you say guys like Shea. Shea's an at best average defender, right? Yeah. So it's like as far as being the most well-rounded player in the NBA, I think it's Cade Cunningham. Even Jokic, he's a solid at best defender. Yeah. But as far as both sides of the ball, those guys may be ahead of him offensively right now. But as a complete basketball player, and if you take one guy away from any of those teams, because we've now seen how the Nuggets look when Jokic has been out, they still been balling. They moved up in their ranking in the standings when he was out. They've been better without him. So as far as most valuable player to your team, I don't think there's anybody who's above Cade Cunningham.
Well, that's exactly how I feel. The OKC is about to blow out the Suns without Shea, and they've now had 2 wins in a row. And again, like we've been able to win without Cade, but I think well-rounded is the perfect word for it. And I will say, like, Jokic is a solid defender, but like we go crazy in person if he gets a block. For Cade, it's almost, of course we cheer for him, but it's almost expected. We know he can do it. Yeah. So I agree that he definitely should be higher in the MVP conversation. I would think that if we maintain this first place ranking for the playoffs, that he would shoot up to that. And again, like you said, like of course Shea helps OKC. They're a very good team, and Shea is obviously a very good player. Even if he's not foul baiting, he can shoot the mid range. I think that's what frustrates me the most. Like he can get these shots. There's no need to foul bait almost. Right. He can't hit them. But he would be my only argument. And look, I'm a Jokic lover. Jokic can do it all. He averages a triple-double, but like when it's, OKC number 1 in the West and Pistons number 1 in the East, you got to think it's between SGA and Cade. You got to think that's what it's between. Yeah. I think he's right there, boss. My only criticism of Cade, we got to talk about the good and the bad, right? My only, because he had 3 turnovers. 2 of those 3, he just got the ball taken away from him. That's what happened.
That's the only thing. It was twice in the backcourt when he got stripped. And I think on both times we were looking to push. So that's my only thing. The ball security. He still only had 3 turnovers. That's still great. But I'm just thinking about a ceiling, like where he could get to. If he just cuts that down, just a little bit, because it's happening a little. They're going after him. And he's a bigger guard. So it's harder to handle the ball when you got small, pesky guards who are close to the ground guarding you, right? So I understand it. But I do think it's an area he can improve on. If he tightens that up, it's going to be, he may win multiple MVPs because he'll show he can be efficient alongside of being a great offensive player, alongside of being a great defensive player. If the efficiency is there and the ball control is there and the ball security is there, he's going to be a surefire MVP for sure.
Yeah. And I just want to mention before we move on too, because you mentioned the double teams on him, and credit to the rest of our team because they had to stop that. They had to stop that because everyone else was hitting. They had to stop that because he was getting into the right person at the right time, whether that was Paul Reed, whether it was Tobias Harris, whether it was Duncan Robinson, whether it was Daniss Jenkins. Cade was able to find someone else to go get it done. So the double teams were strong in the first, and then they kind of faded as the game went on.
Agreed. And then Doug, too, made a great point. We'll leave it at this. The leadership piece, too, man. Yeah. Like, this dude is 24 years old, and everybody who's ever come and gone here through those doors have talked about how great of a person he is, how great of a leader he is. You hear Coach say he's able to, do things for himself without taking anything off anybody else's plate. Like everybody has nothing but glowing marks to say, about Cade Cunningham, nothing but just glowing positivity to say. So Doug, that's a great point too. The leadership, the off the court stuff, the galvanizing, the making sure this team is together, not abandoning his team when we were 14-68, saying, taking accountability, saying we're not that bad. Don't just everything. Yeah. Everything. This is exactly who you want leading your franchise. So that was just my only critical mark. But aside from that, I ain't got nothing to say.
Exactly. Yeah. That's all I have on Cade. Yeah.
Me too. All right, boss. We'll leave it there, guys. Y'all know what it is with Cade, man. MVP type stuff today, for sure. Let's keep it moving, boss. Let's go to the unction. Duncan Robinson. Duncan Robinson, guys, finished with 13 points on 4 for 8.
The Dunction. When you say unction,
I like that.
When you say unction, I think of Tobias, so he can be the Dunction.
Okay. The Dunction. I ain't mad at that. 25 minutes, 13 points, 4 for 8 overall, 2 of 5 from 3, 3 of 4 from the free throw line, 4 boards, 1 assist, 1 turnover, A steal on the block for 2 stocks for Duncan Robinson in 25 minutes. Take off.
Yeah, in 25 minutes, I'm not mad at this stat line at all. 4 of 8 overall is 50%. 2 of 5 from 3. He probably could have, if he played more, probably would end up like 4 of 8. He hit his shots later on. What my favorite play from him was the block on the second on the perimeter from behind. I don't know if that was on Emmanuel quickly or if it was on Jamal Shea, but he blocked him on the perimeter, went all the way up for the score. 2 defenders were chasing him the whole time. That's just also decisiveness. Like when you have guys next to you chasing you the whole way, you could pull it back. You could make the wrong decision. He knew that he was going to be able to get the score over him. So, and again, 1 steal, 1 block. He's just constantly 1 steal is like something I expect from him now. He's just constantly getting his hands on these balls on the defense.
Yeah.
So super appreciated that from him. He got a couple of shots in that were definitely needed. Not his best 3-point night, but again, 2 from 5. I'm not going to complain about it all. He got in some foul trouble early, but they were kind of attacking him. I think he had his 4th foul early in the 3rd. And I was kind of like, oh no, like they're going to use it. But then he didn't get another foul the rest of the game, but also we didn't really necessarily need to utilize him the rest of the game. So, really no complaints from Duncan. He just, he did his job out there. If he wasn't feeling the 3, he got his job done in the paint. He dribbled it into the rim, 3 of 4 for free throws. And that's because that's not on the 3-point line. That's, getting into the paint and his ability to do that and try to get the score no matter what. And then of course his stocks will always impress me as a guy that kind of came in and took a couple games for him to just, move off ball. And now he's not only moving off ball on offense, but he's making sure that he's doing his job on defense when he can.
Yeah. And one thing that stood out, the defense was great. The defense was great. You mentioned, the block whenever you see a guy get his own offense off his defense, it's a great thing. When it's Ausar, it's great. When you see a guy who's not known to be a defender do it, that's how you know they're just giving flat out effort.
Absolutely.
To go get it. So that's a great point that you make. Yeah, exactly. Was that PD that said that? Yeah, just effort. Just effort, bro. That's great stuff.
There you go.
Yeah, Duncan is prime example of that defense is about exactly. Yeah. We know Ausar gives effort all the time, but he just has the natural gifts to make him more impactful with it because of that. But with Duncan, he's got to try a little bit harder, right? So to see him do those things is very encouraging. Yeah, for sure. And you mentioned it already, but I'm gonna harp on it because that's what stood out to me more than anything is just how he continues to put the ball on the floor and make plays.
Yeah,
he's doing that consistently now. We saw him early in the year struggle. When they close out too hard, if it's not there, he's just kind of resetting the cage and starting back over. But now he's just being much more decisive when they close too hard. Boss, he scored 18 points last game against the Hornets. Guess how many threes he made?
How many? I don't know.
1.
2? 1?
1.
Duncan.
14 paint points.
Oh.
Out of 18. That's a career high for him, boss. 14 paint points is a career high, guys, for Duncan Robinson. Heat culture is cool, but Detroit culture is different. The way he's bought into what we need him to do, like defensively, like you mentioned, and then offensively, just putting the ball a career high. He was with the Heat for 7-8 years. He's been here not even 7-8 months, and he's getting career highs and paint points.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's crazy.
And we'll get to him in a little bit because I'm just seeing some comments in here because I think it's easy to compare the two. But Huerter is also someone that can and will get his shot in the paint if he doesn't feel like the 3 is hitting. He's just taking the 3 because that's, where it's at. And we'll get to him because he hit his 3. He hit a 3 tonight. Let's go. But I just want to say, that's, I think, what I see in Duncan now, it's nice to see that in Huerter right away because that took a little bit for Duncan to, not just kind of stay on the perimeter, think like this is where they want me. Be like, no, bro, go get your shot. Go get it done. Be confident in what you do. We see that in Huerter as well, and is why his percentages inside the perimeter are so great too. So it is kind of, and I'm not saying that they are comparable in what they brought to this team so far, because again, this is only game 3, game 4 that Kevin Huerter has been able to play in. But that just kind of blows my mind that he got 14 points in the paint. That's
crazy, right?
Incredible.
And it just makes the offense that much more unpredictable.
Exactly. And, we have, guys that I mean, you can go to really any team and you can point out who their 3-point shooters are, but when they're able to, step off of that line when they don't feel comfortable and don't feel like they're going to get it, or they feel even more confident driving to the paint, again, that's who we are as a team. We are a paint shooting team. We're a mid-range team. Of course, we have our 3-point shooters, a handful of them on the team. A lot of them can shoot threes, really, truly, like Tobias, Cade, Jenkins, Sass, Paul Reed, Isaiah Stewart, all of them can shoot threes, but it's not necessarily our first choice in developing a play. We never really run a play to hit a 3-point shooter,
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, that's awesome to hear because he's doing, fantastic things and he continues to. And again, if you want to stay out of the fights, Duncan, that's fine because
if he's doing this on the court, I'm not mad at all.
Exactly.
I'm not mad at all. Especially if he's giving you defense and the way he is and competing the way he is, I have absolutely no complaints.
Yeah.
I have no complaints. He's resembling more and more of what we got for last year from THJ. Just solid defensively, just making plays defensively. And then when the three ball is there, just be reliable. I think he's a better shooter, than THJ. But but I also think that just what we're getting defensively, that's where it starts.
Yeah.
So the fact that he's bought into that, and he's not just bought in, he's actually impacting now. It's not like he's not a cone anymore. It's like he's making plays now.
Mm-hmm.
He's actually a plus defender when he's on the court, right? So yeah, all good things for Duncan Robinson, man. Yabu says Duncan learning to play inside is only going to put another dimension more unpredictable. Exactly. They can't game plan the same way. It isn't just stay attached to him at the 3-point line. You can't do it anymore.
Mm-hmm.
You can't do that anymore because now he can put the ball on the floor and now he's got a wealth of options. He's got shooters. He's got a lob threat. What do you do? Right. So it ain't just Cade anymore that you have to worry about when he does that. The secondary action, we're getting that from Duncan Robinson, bro. So yeah, he keeps doing that. He's going to be very important for us come playoff time as well, for sure.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
All right, boss. We'll leave it there. Let's go now to Ausar, Tasmanian, backbone on defense, Thompson. Guys, tonight, only 4 points, 2 or 3 shooting, 4 boards, 4 assists, 2 turnovers, 2 steals, and a block for 3 stocks in 24 minutes. Interesting stat line from him, but boss, what did you see from Ausar tonight?
Yeah, 4 points kind of surprised me. Look, in the spiritual crystal world, 444 is a sign of stability.
It's a
sign of stability, encouragement, guardian angels, But I love it. Of course, to put in the stocks, that's all I ever ask from Ausar. We know that he is a good defender, whether he's on the box score or not, but to have those is great. In the first, he had a great cut for the dunk. Great cut right behind the defense. He had a really nice bounce pass to B-ball, Paul for the dunk. He had a block on Shed.
You see that swat?
Yeah,
that's what Devin was talking about. From behind?
I think that was on Shed.
That was insane.
And
that was disrespectful.
The end of the first, he drew that offensive foul. RJ Barrett was moving in slow motion. And Sar's like, well, I guess I can just step in here because,
See, that doesn't show up in a box score. Drawing offensive fouls.
And that was, again, with I think there were 5 seconds left on the clock when he got that call. So he basically, prevented them from scoring in that possession and got it back to us. He got blocked in the second, but was able to rebound it and find Cade for the dunk. So still, I just really have been trusting him more at the ball lately. He had 2 turnovers, but again, this is, we were fast paced. And this is a team that is good at defense. So, his box score doesn't do him justice tonight, but only 24 minutes. I mean, we didn't really need his defense, towards the end. He had 2 personal fouls. If it got close, I definitely would have trusted him to come back in, but he did his job out there. He made it hard on the Raptors to score, and he was able to make the right decisions on the offensive end. So,
yeah, this. I think Doug will appreciate this here. Moses Malone's for the Sixers spoke about 4-4-4 in the playoffs. Talking about we gonna sweep everybody 4-4-4. They ended up going 4-5-4, but that's funny. You said 4-4-4. Doug will probably appreciate that. Ausar was a Swiss Army knife. I think the reason it feels like he's scoring more than he does is because he's making so many defensive plays that lead to scores. Right? He's does a great job of just turning guys over and getting us out in transition, even if he's not the one scoring. He's just making positive plays that result in that. So I think that's a big part of why I feel like he has more than 4 points, just because he has a lot of hockey assists defensively.
Agreed.
Right? That lead to the offense. So that's a big thing for me, but I think you're right. You mentioned the playmaking, that's getting so much better in the half court. You might have mentioned it, but the behind the back pass on target out of the pick and roll to Paris was insane. That was a beautiful. That's not an easy pass to make. Bounce pass, you got to make sure you put it right there without it behind the back. But behind the back, bounce pass on target, that's tough.
Yep.
That's tough, man.
It was a nice pass. It was
a beautiful pass. So like you mentioned, the playmaking is getting better. He's getting more comfortable with the ball in his hands in the half court. Because there's times before in the half court, it's like, bro, what you doing? Trying to go one-on-one. The shot clock is winding down. What you doing? But more now, he seems to understand what he needs to do in certain situations. And he's a clamp defensively. We saw late in the fourth quarter when the Raptors tried to make that late charge. Guess who picks off the pass and starts another break and gets us another score, which also felt like points that he got, right? So he just made timely plays too. So, and he's a pogo stick too. Like he had a lob, I think that was there. I forgot who passed it to him. Maybe it was Duncan or Daniss. But he went up and Scotty that challenged him at the rim? And he no. I think Scotty blocked him and he caught it, went right back. No, it was a lob. He caught it.
It was that move.
Okay, he challenged him and brought it down and went back up before he could even come. The defender even came down. Like it was. He's a pogo stick, man. His second jump is ridiculous. So he just does so many things in the court that make it feel like he's scoring, but he's contributing to scoring. So yeah, I'm not mad at that. Like I know the offensive game isn't where we want it to be as far as him directly scoring points, but the way he's able to help us get out in transition and do what we want to do makes it feel like he's doing so much more offensively. So I'm cool with what he's doing. I'm cool with it.
Agreed. Yeah, I can't, again, like he was such an impact, but even though, it doesn't show like 4 points, but he was just so impactful in other ways. Like you said, too, the hockey assists, like and even not on offense, but like on defense, the disruption, the cutting, the passing lane off, staying in front of your defender so that they're literally not an option for the Raptors to go to. Like that's just Ausar Thompson. So
Exactly. Classic says outside of Daniss, Ausar is becoming a great option as primary ball handler. I think he's becoming better. Yeah, he's getting better. If you don't have Cade and Daniss out there and you need to in the pinch go to Ausar, I feel more comfortable now than I did at the beginning of the season.
And we talked about it too. Even the chat has mentioned it. It's almost like a mental game, just like the past few games. Because we've talked about it too. He's like had good game streaks and then bad game streaks and good. The streak isn't ending. It's been a good game streak for a while. He just seems like really, truly ever since, he had his great month and then he got the defensive player of the month. I don't know if that just reiterated into him that like what he's doing is working, but he just looks good overall. And I totally agree that like bringing up the court, he looks decisive. He looks clean. He's not fumbling. He looks like this is his position almost. Like he definitely has grown into it in almost, kind of a confidence way. And I do think the mental game has a lot to do with that.
Yep. I totally agree with that for sure. It's just nice to see him settling in. We've also said like with guys like Ron, for example, or Javonte, it looks the same every game pretty much as far as what they're doing on the court. And early in the season, it didn't look like that for Ausar. But like Devin just said, it looks like he's understanding who he needs to be and how he needs to go about it now that he's had more opportunities to do things. So it's more and more you're seeing him do a lot of the same things every game, right? The steals, the blocks, the charges, like you mentioned, making plays in the half court. Like he's just getting more and more comfortable in his role. And that's what's good. That's what's helping him to elevate his game and do it consistently, like you said.
Absolutely. Yep.
Yeah. I liked it, man. All right, guys, we'll keep it moving. Let's move on now to Uncle T. Tobias Harris, guys, in this game. Had 12 points on 4 for 9 shooting, 1 of 4 from 3, 3 4 from the free throw line, 11 rebounds to lead both teams.
I have 12
in this game. Okay, we're going to go with 12. ESPN this weekend. I'm going to go with NBA.com like you have. 12 boards for Tobias Harris, guys, and a block. Just because in 31 minutes. What'd you like tonight from Uncle T, boss?
The 12-12 double-double. Let's go. As someone who had kind of he almost seemed like a quiet game from him, and he's the only one with a double-double for us tonight. Or anything, close. I mean, Cade was close with his assist.
He might as well have had one,
Right. Yeah. 4 of 9 from field goal, not terrible. 1 of 4 from 3. I mean, a little bit unlike him, missed a free throw, whatever. No turnovers, 1 foul, 10 defensive rebounds, and 2 offensive. I don't have any notes on him because what he did was just present.
Enough.
I mean, the 1 offensive rebound was off of a free throw. And I just remember I was, on Eric's stream, like commenting, like, did Pirtle just foul Tobias Harris to get an offensive rebound. This man,
Right, exactly.
Like you had to foul him. He was outplaying you. Maybe you're not ready to come back, Jakob. Maybe you're not ready to come back.
That's the only note I had. And I'll let you finish. That was the only note I had. It was just the rebounding. You saw him boxing out. You saw him playing big tonight. He really just had the effort defensively to keep them at one shot and not allow the offensive rebounds that have been driving me crazy this season, right when he's been in there. He's really tried to get on the boards and make sure that doesn't happen as often. So I thought he was great in the boards.
This says that it's a vet that's aware of the situation of two of our bigs out, and you don't know. Don't know if B-ball Paul gets into foul trouble. You don't know. So he's going to step up and take over some things that are missing. And he again 4 of 9, like that's still 44%. Like it's not terrible.
Yeah, that's good.
But we didn't. There was a couple of plays where he got the ball in the paint and kind of passed it back out, and I was like, oh, why don't you just back down and shoot it? But
I saw the same thing.
Yeah, but I think it was just more so maybe his mind was just on like these guys have got it. Like
let them get going. Okay.
Yeah, so they can still hit, and let me be here to get it if they don't. Let me be here to step up in a place where we need it. We're missing.
If it's a close game, like he's been doing. Gotcha.
Right. And so I think that's just more so what it is. And even if we're winning by 20 and he's still doing that, it just showed me that that's a role he's going to take on as we wait for Duren and Stu to return. And again, like Duren only got two games. So like we'll see it, like the Knicks, he won't be there, but he wasn't there last time. And then we'll see him again, and that'll be fine. But like Tobias is that vet presence, and he was able to draw fouls at the right time. He looked like a complete vet out there. And I do have to say, we talk about his scoring tends to come when we are forced to play half-court offense. And tonight we were able to run and move the ball very quickly to where we didn't necessarily need that offense from him. He was just mostly ready to secure the ball when needed again, even though, again, 10 of those were defensive. So,
but why were we able to do that? Because he was rebounding the basketball and holding in one shot.
Exactly.
Right. That's the difference. So it's almost like he understands, not that he didn't before, but like you said, the reason he was leading the break at times, I was like, don't blow.
And again, I think
don't blow a tire. But he was able to do that because he was helping us because when you get a stop and you give an offensive rebound and it's a reset and they score, that's demoralizing. That makes it harder for you to take the ball at the hoop because you just exerted energy for 38 seconds, right? Because it resets to 14 after the shot. So it's like, it's tough. Yeah. If you get a miss and you can run, you can keep that ball, the cyclical pattern rolling. Stop, score, stop, score. If it's stop, score, and then there's a stop offensive rebound and you don't get a stop, now it's like you got to reset. So his rebounding helped them to do what they want to do. That's why, like, even though it's not conducive to how he wants to play best as far as the half court, he still understood the assignment, like Organic mentioned. He was like, let's get out and run. Let me get in the glass so we can continue to do that.
And again, I think his 0 assists go to show how focused he was on making sure that, he was in other, because this is a guy that does, he can play make, he can handle the ball if needed. He can take the pressure off of Cade when he's doubled. So recording 0 assists is again, just going to show that he just took it upon himself to make sure that he was an extra body near the rim tonight.
I agree. Yeah, man. Real quick, and we'll keep moving. Kenyatta says, if this is not bad boys are going to work, what would you call this team? Dog pound.
Dog pound, yeah.
Dog pound. Just stick around for the intro, Kenyatta. If you haven't yet, that's what it's about. It's dog pound.
Kenyatta, what would you call them? Do you have ideas? Let me know, because there can be multiple names. I'm cool with it. I want to know.
Yeah, we just noticed Stu a couple years ago was like, no, this is dog pound, dog pound, dog pound. I like it. I'm all in. Obviously, y'all heard the song, but I'm all in on the dog pound. It just fits. Nasty dogs, dog pound, whatever. Anything that talks about them being a dog, I'm with it. Nasty dog pound. Okay, I ain't mad at that, Devon. There you go. Way to kill two birds with one stone with that one. All right,
nasty dogs.
Guys, let's keep it moving. Let's go to the player of the game. Player of the game, boss. Paul Reed. Incredible stuff. 22 points tonight, guys, on 10 for 17 shooting, 1 or 2 from 3, 1 or 2 from the free throw line, 5 boards, 3 assists, 2 turnovers, 2 steals, and I have 2 steals and 4 blocks, boss. I think you have maybe 3 steals and 4 blocks, right? So 7 total stocks for Paul Reed. He got the opportunity and played 33 minutes. So I'll let you take off on what you saw from B-Ball Paul, and then I will respond. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, he was 7 for 7 after the first. He had
Yeah.
11 of our first 14 points.
Yep.
11. He opened the game by hitting a 3.
Yep.
And
And then a nice glasser after that.
The Raptors were not expecting that. I wasn't even expecting that. I mean, I know he can hit threes, but to just so confidently hit that one. I know he had a good one against Charlotte. I did see that one.
Yeah.
But so he did that. He had the first 5 points of the game. Again, 11 of the first 14. He had a tap away that led to the Ausar Thompson steal and basket. He had that nice dunk off of that AT pass that we talked about. He had a block on someone and then recovered and blocked Grady Dick. Like he had 2 blocks in the same 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Insane. In the third, he had another block. He was just unstoppable. Like Pirtle, nobody could stop him. He got the ball at the top and he just took it in. He was just like, yep, I got this. He had another block to end the third. I mean, he was just going off. And I love that, Johnny Kane and Greg Kelser were calling it respect. Like respect. They're calling it respect.
Yeah. You know what's funny? So real quick, have you guys seen that? You might not have seen it, but on the local broadcast, have you guys seen that RESPCC commercial? There's like a song they do here. And so when Greg Kelser said respect, because on the commercial, they actually sing the song, the old school song. So when Greg Kelser said respect, I just heard in my head, RESPCT. That's what people means to me. That's all I heard in my head. For anybody who's seen that commercial here local, you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Time for you to do a cover, dude. Time for you to do a cover.
Oh, respect cover for Reed. Okay, yeah. I ain't doing it that way, but I might have to, remix it and do a little something different.
Yeah, bring in some of your soul with your music, and let's do that. But I mean, I didn't even see that commercial, and I appreciated the nickname that they gave him.
That was cool.
Yeah, and it just goes to game break, and then I have to sit in silence for 3 minutes until it comes back. That's a commercial for me. But I mean, I don't know what else to say. I was like, I need to send him a Valentine because I'm falling in love with his game. Like, oh my God. Like he is just so good. And just like Greg Kelser says, I love B-Ball Paul. I just love whenever Paul Reed does a thing, the next thing is just Greg Kelser. But I love B-Ball Paul.
I love this a little reflection moment.
I don't know. Maddie Fresh, if you're here, say hello. But Maddie Fresh had me dying because he texted in a chat. He was like, Paul Reed's so good, they named the sport after him.
I like it.
And
I like it, Maddie.
Because honestly, if you saw the way he played tonight, and you might believe it, because that was just fantastic. So, you know me, I've always been team B-Ball Paul, and he just rocked out tonight, despite any hesitations that I thought he might have as a human being in terms of tonight. He just outlived them. He did so good. B-Ball, I mean, I messaged you to make sure we still have him for another year on the contract. I was like, we need this guy. Like, he's definitely, I mean, again, look at the Sixers that got blown out tonight. Drummond over me, Drummond over B-Ball.
Right.
You know?
Right.
So
exactly.
I just appreciate everything he does. And he's just, and he's also just such a good guy. If you follow him on Instagram, he's just such a sweetheart. Just an overall good guy who just wants to play the game of basketball. And again, it goes into your argument, Deuce, that we should have 2 guys starting so that we can see more of him. So.
Definitely, man. Real quick, 313 says Drake was there. He stole Cade's Crocs. I'm screaming. That's hilarious talk. I'm dead, bro. Listen, man. Okay. Listen, guys. Wow. Like, I don't even know where to start. B-Ball Paul, go ahead and get that belt right back to yourself, bro. Third straight game with the belt is incredible. Third straight game with the belt, man. I've said it all year, guys. And Boss, you hit on it. But I've said it all year. I'm going to say it again. No more DMPs for Paul Reed for the rest of the year. The rest of the year. This is why I've said, like Boss just mentioned, that JD and Stu need to start. Because once again tonight, Paul Reed shows why he needs to be a fixture in this rotation. He did everything right in this game. Scoring, rebounding, blocking shots, steals, help side defense, everything. And whenever he's played, he has been a plus on the floor and he has made an impact, whether it was 10 minutes, 30 minutes, or 3 minutes. It doesn't matter. And what I loved about him more than anything was, you mentioned it, how aggressive he was. He was looking to go at these guys. Listen, you said too, like, Paul Reed is a humble guy, but he's never lacking in confidence.
No.
The same way we know he can be a starter on other teams, he knows he can be a starter on other teams. And he was super aggressive because he saw Toronto's bigs and he smelled barbecue raptor. Barbecue raptor, man. There was nothing they could do with him. It didn't matter that he's only had a couple starts this year. It didn't matter that he's had way more DNPs this year than he should have had. He just stays ready. And that's what I said earlier. When he gets the opportunity, he's ready to show all the work that he's put in. He's ready and he's licking his chops. And tonight he showed why he needs to be a part of that 3-big rotation for sure. For sure. That's all I got. That's literally all. Chris is silly.
Yeah, I love this one. I like this one too by Organic Linda B-Ball
Abdul-Jabbar. I like that. Man, I like it. I like it. Detroit B-Ball Paul says, exactly. Yeah. Devin says, exactly, Devin. Just like when Daniss Jenkins, same thing, bro. He's not scared. Like he's ready to have fun. It ain't nerves. It's like, no, I'm better. And that's the thing. To know you have the ability to know, like to have DNPs, knowing that the guys on the court in the opposition you're better than, it's hard because you know you can contribute. But he just has the humility to say, hey, whenever they need me, I'm going to keep my head down. I'm going to keep working in the gym. I'm going to be ready whenever it comes because he knows it's going to come at some point.
Well,
he knows it's going to come.
And like Devin's saying, like when we miss Cade, if Cade's out, we're like, it's okay. We have Jenkins.
Exactly.
When Cade got into foul trouble, it's okay. We have Daniss Jenkins. If Duran and Stu get suspended, it's okay. We have B-Ball Paul. And he keeps just proving that again and again. So it's just,
Totally agree.
So,
and to your point, Daniss Jenkins can play the point. He can play the shooting guard position. B-Ball Paul can play the power forward or the center position. So the same way Daniss can play with Cade or Caris or Sass or Duncan or inter guard, Paul Reed can play with Tobias or JD or Stu or Tolu or inter big man.
Yep.
They can both play either spot. That makes it so hard. That makes this rotation so flexible because it ain't like, oh, you got 3 centers and 1 power forward, and if your power forward gets in trouble, what are you gonna do? If he gets in foul trouble, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? You can't put 2 centers in. It doesn't work. He can play either spot. He can play the center or the power forward. Daniss Jenkins can play the 1 or the 2. So it just makes you so much more flexible and gives like so much more optionality you have because they have that versatility on both sides of the court. So it's like he has to play more. He has to, especially when he's doing it like this in big minutes. Like that's when it stands out. When you play 5 minutes and you got 5 points and 3 boards and 2 assists, that's great, but it's not going to stand out. You play 30 minutes and you got 22 and you're doing this, it stands out. It's loud. Yeah. So it's like now that he's getting the opportunity, he needs more. We need to see more of this because, like I mentioned, he's making a statement. He's going to make a statement over these next 6 games around the league how good he is.
And that's like these 3-4 steals, blocks. We were just joking about how what if Ron gets our 3rd Piston defensive player of the month? What if Paul Reed does it?
Right, exactly.
4 games. If he puts up 7 stocks a game, sure. I mean, the most shocking thing about his stat line is that he only got 5 rebounds. That's the most shocking thing. But again, it comes into play with, I think, Tobias. Like you said, Tobias is our 4, but Paul Reed can play the 4. So like they're kind of the way their chemistry that they also have on the court together has been working really well because if Paul Reed is out there shooting a 3 on the perimeter, then Tobias is at the rim trying to get the rebound and vice versa. So I mean, it's just incredible. And again, like he got off to the start right away. And again, he's one of those guys, like we've seen him foul and stuff. And he immediately puts his head in his hands. He's like, oh my God, what did I do? But like,
I love it. How hard he is on himself.
Right. But the hardness on himself never sways how he's going to play. Like, and we've seen, who was it the other day talking about body language? I forget who it was, but it was the body language of another team. And they were like, I just can't appreciate the body language coming from this team because it looks lackluster. And even if you think that B-Ball Paul's body language is lackluster, it's more just like, oh, let me just, feel bad about this for a second and shake it off and go do well by my team. Like he just never disappoints. So
it's kind of like Ron. Like when he gets a foul, it's like, he tries to make it up. He tries to get it back. He does not want to hurt his team while he's on the court. And that's what you said about Paul Reed. I totally agree.
Exactly. Totally so agree. Great job by B-Ball Paul. Truly, like his game is my Valentine this year for sure. So
because you loved it.
I loved it. Yeah.
I love it. That's a bar, low key. Okay, I see you, boss. Okay. Let's get Dwayne in here. Dwayne says, "Preach it, boss and Deuce. JB better not give him DNPs ever again. Paul is our McDice big nasty. I'll be angry. I like the McDice comparison. I'll be angry at JB if Paul ever has another DNP. JB, do not disrespect Paul ever again." That's how I feel about Daniss Jenkins. I was saying about Daniss Jenkins, like, bro, every time he comes into the game, he's hooping. And he sits back down. It's like, oh, come on. So it's like, it's just nice to see him, just like we mentioned with Daniss, get the opportunity. And once he has it, show out. Take advantage of it. So good stuff for him, man. And like I said, I think these next 6 games, he is going to make, we're going to see more. We're going to see the same way with Daniss Jenkins. We started seeing the media start to push him because he was hooping more during that stretch. I think over the 6 games, we're going to see more national attention, more because he's going to play well for B-Ball Paul, because everybody's watching the Pistons now. They want to see at post-suspension how we look. They're all paying attention. So they're going to see how we're still winning games, and they're going to see at the front of the list. They're going to see Cade Cunningham, and up on that list is going to be Paul Reed because he's going to be hooping the way he did tonight. 100%.
Absolutely.
Yep. I'm hyped for him, man. Like it's just nice to finally see him get the opportunities. It kind of makes me just makes me proud to see all these guys taking advantage of their opportunities. So
look, whenever he does, he gets there. And I got this, again, I went to Pistons Nuggets. I didn't get to see him play because it was too close of a game. Like again,
right.
But it's just someone I got to see against the Grizzlies when we were game blown out. Like it's nice to see him come in and be relied on, and he is just proving that he can be. And I don't think, I mean, if anything, again, the 10-man rotation is just something that, teams generally go off of in terms of going in the playoffs. And it is nice to have consistency in that. But like, even if Stu and Duren don't start together, like B-Ball Paul should be getting minutes up. Like that, those 3 in a rotation is a threat in itself.
Exactly.
You never get a break. And it is kind of like not even who is doing better, because all of those guys can produce, whether it's rebounding or scoring, but it's more so just getting some guys a rest when they need it, basically. So
100%. I agree. Let's get some quick comments, boss, and we'll keep it going. Organic says, P. Reed low-key plays like a 2026 version of KG. I like that. He doesn't have the offense. Obviously, KG is 1 of 1 as far as offensively. The mid-range, which is stupid, didn't make sense. But KG couldn't shoot threes either. So Paul Reed is, like you said, that's why he says 2026 version for us to stretch big. But yeah, as far as being able to finish around the rim, bro, either hand, athletic, like his left hand finishing is solid, is really good. He can put the ball on the floor and explode at the rim. Like I do see some similarities there, bro, as far as their games, right? So that's a pretty good comparison. I do like that. Yeah, and then Frank says, no Duren, no Stu, no Holland, no problem. No dog pound, no problem. Nate, I never thought I would say that. No dog pound, no problem. But once again, the depth. Go ahead.
And I just want to say real quick, I just saw a couple comments that came in a little bit later after the start of our show, like asking about Holland. We're not really sure, but we're hoping that they did say that the return date their expected return date would be the next game against the Knicks on the 19th. So not really sure what's going on, but just, send him and his fam the best wishes, because they're great people.
For sure.
So, and everybody knows that Ron would be here if he could be. So
absolutely.
I understand that's where the concern's coming from, but just, send your good vibes, your prayers, whatever you
prayer emojis in the chat.
Whatever you guys, however you do it, just send that all their way, because Ron Sr., his mom, who we just supported the Ron Holland Foundation last month, or 2 months ago, send them all the good vibes. But Ron will be back, and I know he's anxious too. And I know that he's proud of us. He's posted on his story, together all the time, even though he's not there. So miss him, but I think he'll be, I hope he's back by New York, but we've shown that
I just hope it's straight first.
Right. We can get it done without him. So whatever him and his fam need, take the time. So.
Take your time, bro. We got B-Ball Paul holding it down.
Absolutely.
That's the thing, because he normally doesn't play, so it's okay. It's okay. We need Ron, obviously, but it kind of hurts a little bit less when we got guys who can step up like we had tonight.
Absolutely.
So, keep him in the prayers, guys. Let's keep it going, boss. Let's get to some reserves before we run for 3 hours. Keep it moving. Let's go to Daniss Jenkins tonight. Daniss Jenkins, guys, finished with 7 points on 3 for 9 shooting. 1 from 3, 2 of 3 from the free throw line, 3 boards, 1 assist, 2 turnovers, which is rare for him, in 17 minutes. So what stood out to you in this game from Tink?
You have 7 points. I have 8.
I got 8 points in 17 minutes.
You said 7 points. So that's
17 minutes.
Okay. 8 points, 17 minutes. Got it. Yeah. Not his best game. I don't think what he did was detrimental to us. I still think he played good defense. Again, he only recorded 1 personal foul. He got the shots that he wanted. The assists are kind of low, but again, like Cade had 9, Ausar had 4, and everybody else had 3 or less. So it's like not, again, huge. He missed his 1-3. He had that nice and one when they kind of went on their run. I think it was
that
like
was nice.
nine
Kind of responded. Yeah, that was nice.
Yeah. So he was, he was out there doing his stuff. It wasn't a game to hang his hat on, but like in 17 minutes, he produced for us. 8 points. Yeah. Cause we had our 4 or 5 starters in double digits. And then we had LeVert and Huerter got 9 points, and then he had 8. So he definitely made an impact still, but we know that he can do more. And I think that he will. No worries about it. Not a Jenkins game necessarily, but not detrimental to the team, and definitely helped us, maintain the lead and get it done tonight.
Yeah. He just couldn't find a shot tonight.
Yeah.
He had 1 or 2 plays offensively where he just was a little careless with the ball. A timing thing where it's like in the bang play, you got to make the right decision. He kind of made the wrong read. Happens sometimes. So that's where those turnovers came from. Got to work on that for sure. But it's not a normal for him thing for him. But he only had 1 assist, but he had like 5 or 6 dimes in this game that guys just could not knock down the open shot. He should have had 4 or 5 assists easy.
That's what artificial hip is saying right here. He was noticing trying to get Tolu going when they were on the floor together. Maybe this because Tolu, when he fed Tolu either it wasn't there or he got to the foul line. So that doesn't go in as an assist.
Exactly.
So that's a little bit, I would say that he probably had closer to 3 or 4 assists tonight, at least in terms of turning it into points.
Exactly. Yep. Yeah, but it was solid. It wasn't great, but it wasn't a bad game. He did enough for sure for us to win. He just tries to push the pace and just encourage the same style of play. Both units going to play the same way, right? So that's how you overwhelm teams. There's no breaks. So I just like when he comes into the game, he's looking to push. Cade, when he's in the game, looking to push, right? Both your point guards doing the same thing, and everybody's following them. That's all you can ask for. So he does a good job just being a good floor general. So
exactly.
One of the best undrafted. Yes, one of the best undrafted players ever. I agree with that, bro. I'll say top 10 undrafted players ever that I've seen for sure. Maybe even top 5. He's just getting started. We haven't seen him 3-4 years from now when he really starts to peak. So this is just the beginning.
He's a guy, again, I have his interview. I'll send it to anybody who wants it. I think I saved it on Instagram like 2 years ago, but I have an interview of him after a summer league game just talking about, he's like, no, I will make it to the NBA one day. Like, I will. Yeah. Like, he has confidence in himself and it shows every time. And again, like he was just, nothing he did was bad tonight. Like you said, he had a couple like sloppy plays and then just trying to get in the hoop himself, just trying to find a shot. But we've seen him, I think, like, again, when they were here against the Nuggets, he didn't really find his shot, but then he popped off. Like, it's not a consistent with him. Like, this is just more like one of those games where you don't find a shot, which Duncan has had, Beasley has had. Like, we've just seen that. And I think he'll just do even better next time. But again, just good that, everybody, his team was there to carry him. I also think that if this was a game that we were maybe a little bit behind, I don't know. Like, we don't know what would have transpired, but the off game was there for him. And I think he was just more trying to be a floor general tonight anyway. I didn't see him pull, even though it says 3 of 9, like I can't necessarily remember his misses because he was just trying to get the play done for everybody.
Let's get to some Daniss comments. Kevin says he gets them into the offense, and when the play breaks down, he can get us a shot. Yes, he just makes the right play. Whether it results in points or not, he's going to get you a quality shot. He just makes the right play, just consistent. Good reliever, says Chris. Yep. Let's see. A few more. Organic says, I think they said DJ's conversion contract is one of the highest ever. It is the highest ever, bro. Yeah. Highest ever. It's not an accident, for sure. Jamoke says, can we see more Sasser? Maybe. I don't think they needed him tonight. He had some nice plays late, late in the game, got a chance to get some bump.
Yeah.
But we'll see. We'll see on that.
He was someone I wanted to see tonight because he played at Houston with Jamal Shed on the Raptors, who was another guy that I really like. He was starting point guard until quickly got off. And he does well. Daniss puts up better numbers than him, and I can see Sass putting up better numbers of him as well. But I would like to see that matchup. Sass came in once they sat Shed, but that would have been fun to see.
Yeah. It'd have been nice to see him. Yeah.
But I think Sass, some people with the free Sasser. Yeah, I mean, I'm actually like
I ain't mad.
I'm actually really happy that we were able to keep him past the deadline. I didn't know how he'd be packaged. I can't promise you how he will be on our team going forward, because I just want him to, have his breakout time. But he is still somebody that if we needed to, and maybe potentially with these suspensions,
maybe
we might see him a little bit more in these games. You just don't know. It depends on how we're creating our offense. Like again, Cade was hitting from 3 tonight, which is incredible. But maybe if he wasn't, they might have tried him a little bit earlier. Who knows? But Sass is a blast to watch, and I would have loved to see him against Shed, but neither one of them really popped off at the level that I know that they can. So that's okay.
Yeah, it was nice to see him get some chances for sure.
Yeah.
Late in the game, of course, obviously, but I know Jamon. I know that's your guy. I ain't mad at it, bro.
Yeah.
Last comment I want to get to for sure is Rodney. As far as with wasn't Rodney, my bad. Where was it at? Doug says Daniss Jenkins used up clock late when we needed it to. That's the thing. Like it was kind of a back and forth game. Like both teams trying to run. Neither team could score for a minute. Like between 2 or 3 minute stretch, nobody was scoring. It's like 3 minutes left. It's just like I was screaming, like, bro, just slow down. Just slow down. We have the clock is your friend, bro. The clock is your friend. Let's run it down. And that's when you saw him pull it out. I'm like, okay, Daniss got it. We're good. But Doug, great point. Clock management, understanding the situation late in the game. You don't need to score every single time down. Just run the clock, get good shots, and manage the team like a point guard. 100%. I totally agree with Doug there for sure. It's a little thing. It's not a box score thing, but it's still leading your team the right way. So I like that.
I kind of agree with this. I'm not going to lie.
I'm not going to lie. Like Huerter got 21. Why Sasser just get 3?
I don't disagree.
Well, let's get to Huerter and then we'll talk about it. Let's get to Huerter. We'll talk about it. All right. So let's go to Huerter now, guys. Since y'all want to talk about Sass, I ain't mad. Talk about the comparisons. Let's get to it. All right, guys. So Kevin Huerter in this game, Balls finished with 9 points, which is I think the most he's had as a Piston. 4 for 9 shooting, which is solid. 1 of 3 from 3. Made his first 3 as a Piston in his third game. 3 boards, 1 turnover in 20 minutes. So go ahead, boss. Take off. I know Jamoke had a comment there.
All my notes say a 3.
That's all. I mean, I ain't really got much more than you. I ain't really got much more than that, but go ahead, take off.
He did a good job out staying in front of his guy in the defense. Like this classic thing. I do think he does great off ball. Like he is not a cone. And that I appreciate from him so much. He got to the rim a couple of times. Like I said, he had that nice reverse. But to hit that 3, I mean, it was at the end of the game. But I don't know, maybe that's the start. Maybe that's what he needed. It's been a minute. And even when he got the game winner for the Bulls a couple weeks ago, like it had been a minute since he's hit a 3. So maybe, if anything, I was just excited for him to see that because he does get good looks. And a couple of them were like in and out tonight. Like he doesn't airball. He doesn't, they're on there, but they're just a little bit there. So not mad about what I saw from Huerter tonight. 3 rebounds too. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. I mean, again, there's people that don't, rebound in the league that are guards. So he did have a turnover, but to be fair, almost everyone did tonight. 3 fouls. That was the issue. He got into 3 fouls early, and I was like, Huerter, I want to see you pop off. Like, because I remember texting you this morning being like, if there's ever a game for Huerter to find his rhythm, it's this one because we're down and we want to get a lead. And luckily, again, Cade kind of carried that 3-point load for us tonight. But still really appreciative of him being able to find his shot, whether it's a 3 or not. He does get to the right places. He doesn't make it herky-jerky. He's just very smooth in his game. He doesn't cause any disruption out there,
Exactly.
I would say. So I appreciate that. But I will just say, 21 minutes, I didn't realize that he played that much. He played the most off the bench. And maybe it's because they are just trying to get him into a rhythm and trying to see if he would fit into our playoff rotation. But especially in a game against the Raptors where you do have someone that can kind of match up size-wise with Sass, like a Shed, maybe I would have liked to see a little bit more Sass or a little bit more Chaz instead of Huerter. But Huerter was brought here to help us in the playoff run. So I would say that, it's obvious to give him some minutes and get it going. And I am still kind of surprised he played 21, even though he got into foul trouble early. Usually you see at least the 15 range there, but
I think
I don't have complaints about it.
Well, I just think, and this may not be a popular take, but I'm just looking at how Trajan has constructed this team. What is that, velvet? Says Super Morty Man. Coming to America reference. Shout out to y'all. I think the difference is more so stylistically what they're looking for, because I think with Sass is one of the best pure bucket getters on this team, and it's not close. I just think the Pistons want to run an orchestrated offense with ball movement, with player movement, with backdoor cuts, just more a well-oiled machine offensively instead of the ball sticking to one player. And I think Huerter does that more than Sasser. Not saying he's a better offensive player, but I feel they think he fits into the system as a cog, as opposed to let's all watch Daniss, or let's all watch Sass just go get a bucket in the one-on-one, because he can do it.
Yeah,
we don't really see Sass really much moving without the basketball, those kind of things within the structure of an offense. Not saying he can't, but his bread and butter is just breaking you down, dancing on you, breaking you down. And I think the Pistons just want to run a more orchestrated offense, whether you have that player movement, the backdoor, the ball movement, and the player movement. I think that's the difference. I think that's why we might even see a guy like Chaz Lanier get more minutes than a guy like Marcus Sasser, because of the style of play. Not the talent, not the skill, not the ability to put the ball in a hoop, but how you're doing it, how you're getting those buckets. To me, that's I think probably why they made that trade when they traded Jaden Ivey.
Yeah,
it's because they wanted a guy who was more of a system guy, who's doing the things that fit into the offense a little bit better, to me. So that's what I think they're looking at, and that's why I think we haven't seen as much Sass as a lot of you guys may want to see.
And we talked about it a little bit too, that Trajan, when he also went for Huerter, he didn't want a guy that would disrupt our chemistry or our locker room. And what you hear from all the teams he's been on, and even I can just tell now, all he does, I think, would add to the chemistry, and he wouldn't affect it in any way. So I think that was just another big reason that we signed him, because it wasn't a splash, big or small, that would possibly affect the vibes of this group. The chemistry is so important. And I know sometimes it's just easy to go straight to talent, but we've, talked about it. There are teams out there with lots of talent and no chemistry, and it's apparent. It's
sure.
There. You can see why it's harmful. So a lot of people agree with what you're saying too. I think it's this kind of that whole thing that we've talked about all season is whoever gets minutes, it's not really a slight to the guy who doesn't.
Not at all.
It's
not
just
at all.
More just what they're trying.
And that's why I wanted to say, Sass, it ain't no slight to Sass, bro. He's a like I said, he's a better scorer. He may even be a more talented overall basketball player than Huerter. You know what I'm saying? Right. Just naturally skills. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I think so. But it's just what fits. What fits?
It's kind of like that thing. If Cade went down and say Cade got suspended and then Jenkins was injured, I still wouldn't be oh no, now it's on Sass. I'd be okay, right. Now it's on Sass. It's Sass. That whole thing of this offseason is gonna be tough for me because we're gonna have to say, if we want to make a big splash, if we want to make a move, we're probably gonna have to say goodbye to a couple people that I really like. But it's more about that same thing, even the approach I had with Jaden Ivey, who again was my favorite player on the team. I'm still rooting for success. I hope he gets more opportunity with Chicago that he didn't get here. He felt he wasn't getting here. I want him to have the opportunity. That's how I kind of feel with Sass. And so I'm just glad that, Sass kind of wasn't packaged in anywhere, because I feel like he can be overlooked, and he has his supporters for a reason, including me. And so I do hope that depending on what happens next season, again, he still could become one of our more relied on shooting guards in the future, if that's kind of what we see in him. Right. That is still a possibility for him. But he's just a good player overall, and I would just be, very excited to see him a little bit more, and not just in garbage minutes as a ball handler kind of thing. But there's gonna be opportunities. I still think before this season is over, there's gonna be opportunities where Sass is playing 20+ minutes. I think that there will be something there, whether that's because of injury, whether that's because of rest, whether that's, especially towards the end of March, month of April, when we're kind of, going to be resting our guys a little bit more. I'm not saying we're not going to play them, but when you're heading into the playoffs, you just don't want to be playing them 40 minutes a game before that.
Yeah.
then we'll see some more Sass and we'll be reminded of what he brings to this. And again, it's just another depth piece that unfortunately we just don't have the room for right now. And I agree with what Kev said, what you said, what other people have said in here. Like Kevin Huerter is just kind of in this rotation right now because we did trade for him. And here's the thing, like, what if he didn't play when we played other people? Would, people be commenting like, oh, we traded Ivy for Huerter and we're not even playing him. Like, there's just no winning sometimes. And Huerter, he had his opportunities tonight, and every opportunity he's had on the floor, I feel like he's taking advantage of so far. So I'm not disappointed in him on the floor. I actually want to see him more. But again, like, I'm also just like, I'm excited for Sass and I'm excited for Chaz and I'm excited for these other guys too. But their time will come.
And like Chris says, we'll trade Sasser and let him go ball somewhere else, but to hold him here in jail is kind of like, I don't think it's hater-like, because they have tried to give him opportunities, right? It just takes time to learn how to play that way when you're used to just being a bucket getter, right? They've tried to get him in sets and get him things going. It's not, you don't learn that overnight, man, especially when you're competing against guys in the rotation who have been playing orchestrated basketball the way Kevin Huerter has his whole life. Like, Kevin Huerter's never been a guy who's had to go get buckets. So he knew early on, like, you're not going to be that guy. You're going to be a guy who's going to do very specific things, right, at the NBA level. So they just have more opportunity to do those things. When Sasser gets 20 minutes in one game, I'll be happy. I mean, I don't know, bro. I mean, honestly, I'll real quick.
Yeah.
About the opportunity piece, Chris. Mm-hmm. You think about a guy like Jaden Ivey. Like, the Pistons wanted to help him, to put him in a situation to where he can get more opportunity, hopefully, in Chicago, something that he didn't really get here, because the timeline at this point, Chaz Lanier just said that recently, that the timeline, it just didn't fit with as far as him getting hurt, and now he's got to catch up and get him up to speed. So I think part of it, who knows what may happen this offseason. If Sasser says, maybe I can get a role, got a contract year coming up next year, who knows? Yeah. But that could very well happen if it benefits him the same way we saw Jaden get moved, and how he's going to get the opportunity elsewhere to do the same thing. So we just don't know.
I just will say, just because, again, we've had this conversation before where we talked about, like, I think Sass would have gotten more minutes if he wasn't injured to start the season and Jenkins stepped up. I think Sass would have been our Jenkins before we had Jenkins, which obviously I'm very glad that we have Jenkins. Sass is someone that the team has really talked up, especially in the preseason. So it's definitely there. What the role on his team that was established was there. But just like kind of with Duncan, how we were like, oh, Ivy will start for Duncan. But then Duncan kind of never did anything to give up that spot. Like, just the way that the team is going, there's just kind of no need to disrupt. But yeah, I mean, just like with any of these guys, I would love to see more of them. And we will see more of them before the playoffs, especially towards the end of March, unless we're really fighting for a number one position, which, if this is how we're going, I think we stay the course, we stay ahead. It would kind of take a losing streak from us and a winning streak from other teams to get out of that. But either way, I think we will see these guys, and they're all I'm just grateful to have them. And it is that kind of like, I want to see them play, but I get why they're not,
The only reason we're having this conversation is because we're so deep. Mm-hmm. How many times in years past have we said, man, I wish this guy could get time, and that guy and that guy. I hate these guys just rotting on the bench. I hate that these guys can't get time. They need to be playing. Send them somewhere else. We've never had that problem before. Yeah, because we have the wealth of talent. We have a wealth of depth, right? So let's not get too hung up on this right now. Of course, you want to see everybody prosper. I get it, right? We like certain guys, and fair enough, we want to see them do well. But we're deep. This is a good problem to have, right? Let's not get it twisted. This is a great problem to have when we don't have guys we want to see on the court, and we're still blowing teams out. Let's just not forget that. This is a great problem to have right now. Like, in years past, I would have killed to have these kind of conversations. That's why I'm not tripping.
Right.
Yeah, Chris, it's a great problem to have. I understand what you're saying, Chris. 100% point is taken. Right, bro. No shade, but we had Kevin Knox start for his period.
Did you say OKC signed Buddy Boeheim off of waivers? I was like,
they signed Boeheim? Wow. Yeah. Wow. Like, but let's just don't forget that, guys. This is a great problem to have, man. Great problem to have right now.
Buddy Boeheim seems good on paper, but Wait till you get him in for 5 minutes a game.
Cone.
Yeah.
All right, let's keep it moving, guys. We could go all night. Let's keep going. Yeah, great problem to have, Devin, for
Exactly.
sure, bro. You get it. Y'all get it, man. All right, let's keep it moving, boss. Let's go to Caris LeVert in this game. Tonight, guys, Caris LeVert finished with 9 points on 3 for 8 shooting overall, 3 for 4 from 3-point. 2 boards, 1 assist, a turnover, and a steal in only 18 minutes. His customary 18 minutes. So what did you see tonight, boss, from Caris LeVert in this game?
It's just so funny because the chats I'm in are just so quick to
Find reasons.
brag on him. Yeah. I think someone like sent the heartbreak emoji when he was 0 for 1. I'm like, yo,
Just
he's
waiting
0
for
for
something.
1, guys. Come on. It could get better. And they're like, it won't. And then
Confirmation
his
bias.
3 shot was hitting tonight. I will admit he did start a little slow. Yeah, offensively. Still great defense. In the third, he hit a triple. Then he hit another one. Then the start of the fourth, he hit another one. He was 3 for 3. 3 for 3. The one he missed, he was like 3 for 4. And the one he missed was like in and out. And 1 turnover. Again, some people are just like, no, he gets stopped at I think I'm just trying to think of some comments that I saw. Like he gets stopped and trapped at the perimeter. I'm like, I disagree with that. He turns it over a little bit. His herky-jerky motions aren't everyone's favorite way to watch basketball, but to me, it's like really impossible to defend. Yeah. And then in the fourth, he also had the steal that led to the Tobias dunk. Like he was just kind of all over the place. So I would say, how did he do in the Hornets game? Because I'm curious because he was.
I feel like he was good last game.
2 good games, and then I didn't really block him for the Hornets game. And then this game, I would say another sellout. I mean, he tied with Huerter for the most points off the bench.
Yeah.
And the 3 ball was hitting. He had some good looks. He was 3 from 8, so he didn't really make any of his paint. So it seems like it's back and forth. Before he was making all of his mid-range, all of his at the rim shots, and not any of his threes. Today he was hitting his threes. And for 17 and a half minutes, I'll take it. Like this is, a solid stat line, especially for a guy that can stay in front of the defender. So, I'm just curious about the Hornets game because that there was 4 games in a row that like he hasn't been, there's kind of, I won't say he's playing great, but I will say there's kind of no reason to come for him in the chat.
It's not.
It's not. So, yeah.
Mm-mm. Especially when you're getting the effort defensively too, man. Like he's disruptive. He's just disruptive defense. It's kind of, and that's why I asked you guys last show or the last couple shows about who you guys would like to see at that backup shooting guard between Caris LeVert and Kevin Huerter. Because they do some similar things. They both give effort defensively. Huerter's a better shooter, obviously. Caris is a better athlete.
That line was almost identical.
Yeah. So if anything, it's just nice to have options at that backup shooting guard spot. And it looks like, and they're starting to play more and more the same way as far as off-ball movement and just you're starting to see a lot of these guys start to do a lot of the same things because the team is buying into how we want to play as a team, right? So I just think it's nice to have both of those guys. I like his defense, man. Like when the 3 ball is rolling, like I say for the whole team, if the defense is there and the 3 ball is rolling, it's going to be a good game. Same with Caris individually. Defense is there and the 3 ball is rolling, it's going to be a good night. So that's all I want to see from him. As long as he's out there with another point guard, so he's not running the offense, right? And that's what you don't want to see. He can make secondary plays, how Duncan Robinson can make secondary plays, etc. Kevin Huerter can make that's what you want. That's what you want. If he's giving you that, I'm cool. I'm cool with Caris LeVert. And I thought he did a good job of that today.
Hey, I appreciate
little moment, Chris.
Yeah, I appreciate some of these people who are very critical of other. Like, thank you. This is what I appreciate because again,
y'all being objective. See y'all.
And we talked about it. Deuce and I have talked about like this practice, not coming into a game with a bias. We all do it. I mean, I literally have a hate list of NBA players on my fridge. So I have to remind myself, like, in case any of them get traded here, which they will not, because they are not in character. But go ahead.
Organic says, my main issue with Caris is his guaranteed minutes full of inconsistency are going to come at the expense of Ron Holland, Daniss, or Ausar in really important games. That terrifies. Well, the thing is, bro, like, keep this in mind too, guys. You mentioned Ron Holland, Daniss, and Ausar. I think Caris LeVert is going to be important in the playoffs. His veteran leadership, the fact that he's been there before, he's won playoff games, he's been with Bickerstaff before in the playoffs. I think that's going to bode well for this. We still haven't seen the best version of Caris LeVert yet. Now that we have roles more defined, guys have been moved, things like that, and we're just now really starting to see him turn a corner. And a lot of it is just coming with reps and opportunity. Like we say with all these other guys, they get the chance, opportunity, and now they're doing it. So I just think come playoff time, we're going to see the best version of Caris LeVert, a guy who is familiar with coach, knows exactly what he needs to do in the exact situation in the playoffs where he's been before with coach. I think that's going to be something that gives him an advantage and can help guys like Ron, like Daniss and Ausar, who don't have nearly that amount of experience. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm taking that approach. I think come playoff time, his veteran leadership and experience of having been there before with this coach is going to be important. I really do.
Agreed. And he even talked about it with JB. I think like last week, they each talked about how his importance will come through. And someone mentioned it earlier too. Let me see if I can find it real quick. But it was, 313 Kurt, my favorite Ivy hater. He'd been solid ever since the deadline. It was probably mental. So a couple people have mentioned that too. And then he was dealing with vertigo. Yeah, the vertigo. So I don't know how much was illness that they didn't catch on to, whether it was mental, who knows. But if he's playing like this, we just might as well embrace him and cheer him on, So yeah, I think he's had it. Devin said that he was good last game, so he's had 4 solid games in a row right now. That's what I appreciate from him.
Yeah,
I understand the concern about him maybe taking minutes, but again, like Huerter had more minutes than him tonight. Like they're just, I think, figuring out the playoff, and that's what this month is for, and March. That's what March is for as well, is figuring out kind of our 10, like I said. But I don't think that we're going to be one of those teams that sticks to 10. I think we're going to be a 12-man rotation, to be honest. So
I hope not, to be honest. I don't want to see a 12-man rotation in the playoffs.
But we talked about it, like maybe B-ball in there.
I mean, 10, okay, but 12, like 10 for me, 10 max come playoff time, unless you have foul trouble, unless just to have, because the rotation's shortened in the playoffs too. Like you got to have certain guys consistently who know the role. When you start getting 10, 11, it's like it starts to throw that consistency off. You got more guys playing with each other who they hadn't played with earlier. Like, give me 10 at the most.
I agree. But don't you think that like a game like tonight kind of proves that they can throw in anybody and make it work?
They can, but you want to do it consistently. They're not going to consistently play all these guys because
I think
JD
it will be more.
Out. If JD and Stu were playing, we wouldn't have seen everybody like we would have seen. So it's nice to have it, but in playoff situations, you want to go with your guy. You want to go to that consistent rotation, 9, 10 guys for me.
I think it will be situational, like you said. I think if we fall behind against, or we're down 0-2 in the playoffs or something, which I honestly really don't see.
I mean, yeah, in that case,
a little bit. So yeah, I agree. I guess more so is that we can. I should say, a 10-man rotation is nice, but we could confidently use a 12-man if needed.
Yeah, if needed. Yeah. I'm cool with that. I wouldn't go in trying to do that, but if we need to do it, it's something that most teams can do. So it's just nice to have that in your back pocket.
Okay.
Sure.
Yeah. Fair.
Yeah. All right. Chris says, Deuce, you have to stay consistent with what got you there. 10 to 12 should be expected. Okay. Maybe. I guess he's got to wait and see. I don't know. I don't see.
Oh no.
What's up?
On some breaking news. Cooper Flagg, if you guys like him, has suffered a sprain in his foot and will not be in the All-Star game and will probably be out for the rest of the month.
Wait, All-Star game?
Rising Stars.
Oh, okay. All these injuries, that's crazy. Chris, you know what? Who knows, bro? We'll see, bro. We'll see. I'm curious to see how that plays out. So we'll wait and see. I'm just giving you what I'm used to seeing, what I would like to see. But
I'm just thinking.
I'm not mad at the use your depth if you have it piece. We'll see. We'll see.
I'm just thinking our starting 5, and then you go Jenkins, Stu,
Ron,
Javonte. Okay, so that's 9. So then, it'd be like,
and then
what?
One of Huerter or Caris.
One
of those guys, right? Not both of them.
Right.
We did tonight because we kind of had to go with something a little different because we had our bigs out. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Okay. So I will say Caris because I think he's earned it over Huerter.
Okay.
And then you got B-ball, and then if they do want to play Huerter, that would be 12. So yeah, I could see it, but 10 is probably what we're going to stick around.
Yeah,
but if you want, to include B-ball in the rotation, then it would be 11 at least.
Yeah, if it calls for it. It's just nice because most teams can't do that. They can't do that.
Exactly.
So, and I agree with Caris much better on defense. All right, guys, we'll leave it there. Boss, let's keep it moving. Let's go to Javonte Green. Javonte Savage. Whoa. Can you whoa? Hey, she hit it with me finally. It took you long enough. I'm waiting on that. I wasn't trying to pressure you into doing it, but glad you did it.
I did it without trying because I can't sing, so
whatever. You guys, she's done the Detroit basketball in the past, and she did it just fine, right? Right, chat? Let her know. Right, chat? All right, let's go. Javonte Green tonight, guys. He had 3 points. He did not shoot it well. 0 for 4 from 3 or from 2. 0 for 4, 0 for 2. Let me start over. 3 points. 0 for 4 from 2. 0 for 2 from 3. 3 of 3 from the free throw line. 4 boards, 2 assists, and 1 turnover in only 16 minutes for Woo. So what did you see tonight from Javonte Savage Woo?
Defense, incredible defense. The guy, whoever he was guarding, guys, had to give it up. He did not let Emmanuel quickly get by him.
He didn't.
No, he did fantastic. No fouls. Once again, Javonte Green, 0 personal fouls.
Again, right.
Insanity. Everybody else that played tonight that wasn't in garbage minute recorded at least 1 foul. Like, I just have to say that. Yeah, his shots were bad. But like in and out. Like they still were there were a couple of threes that literally just rolled around the cylinder and popped right back out. So not not air balls. They didn't look like Ron threes, They looked like Javonte threes that just couldn't hit. Mm-hmm. The fact that he got his 3 points because he was fouled on a 3-point shot, even though I definitely think he kicked it out a little bit, but that's fine.
Yeah. He kind of rushed 1 or 2 of those too. He caught it in rhythm, but it was a little bit rushed because they were up on him a little bit.
Agreed. And the threes that he took didn't look comfortable. Like they didn't look like good shots. So well at the best. Again, 4 rebounds. That's the most off of the bench. 2 assists. That's tied for the most off of the bench. So he still did Woo things. Yep. Where's Chris? Chris, what did he do tonight for you?
What did he do, Chris? Let us know. We need
you. He wasn't it wasn't detrimental. Again, like he is someone that, of course, like when he can hit his threes, like incredible. But he just makes his defense is the primary focus, and that was apparent again tonight. Just consistent play, play from Javonte, and you could tell there were. I think he went in for a drive. It wasn't a 3. He went in for a drive, and he definitely thought he should have gotten the whistle because they pulled it down. He was walking he was walking like this. Like, are you serious? But he still gets back in time. Like, just a consistent.
If that was JD, you'd have been getting on him.
Yeah. I would have. My JD, use your freaking body and stop complaining. But he didn't even complain to the refs. He was just flabbergasted.
Well, yeah, he did. He did.
But he
put his hands on the head and looked at the ref. It's the equivalent of JD going like this. It's the equivalent of JD going like that.
But it never happens with you, Woo. So there was a foul.
Well, he's not in the paint getting hacked every play either.
Exactly.
To be fair. Well, no, I know. I'm not just.
This consistent play from him. Nothing to like, again, hang his hat on or anything, but he did great defense. Still to have again only 3 points, but still record 4 rebounds, 2 assists. Like still have 6 points in those columns were huge. And again, he hit all his free throws, which is fantastic. So 3 of those 4 rebounds were offensive. So that's telling you again what he was doing to make sure that he was making a contribution on that end. So
I agree. Yeah. Let's get some comments on Woo. First of all, Vinny Boo Vision says he thought he was listening to Whitney Houston when you hit that Woo. See, you gotta do it more. Heisenberg said he was hitting a harmony. He said he was hitting a harmony with it. You know what I'm saying? We need it more. So next time, hopefully we can make it a habit. When I hit the Woo, she can hit it with me. We'll see. No pressure.
Sorry, Whitney.
Let's get to some more comments. Another signing, a Trajan signing. Yes, another value signing. Chris said, here we go, Chris. Chris says, Mr. B-Ball stealing all my shine. Give him the belt again, coach. Yeah. I love those. I like that one. On cue, too. He's always ready with it. I love it. Organic says, Woo and B-Ball Abdul-Jabbar have their faces in the dictionary under intangibles. Well said, dog.
I love it.
Well said. They just do all the little things that don't show up. The stat or the box score deceivers, all positive plays for the most part. I agree. PDC giving JD that tough love. She always giving JD the tough love, bro. Organic says JD with his hands up to the refs is as inevitable as Stu's finger point. I'm screaming. Y'all are hilarious, bro.
We're not getting another
we're gonna
finger point.
Go ahead.
After this. What? I think after this, Stu better be at home practicing in the mirror how to not finger point.
Bro.
Don't do it.
Yeah. At this point, they need at this point, like, I don't know. I'll say.
We'll get there because we're going to talk about what Trajan said at the end.
Yeah. You already knew where I was going. All right, better. All right, let's get to a few more guys, and then we will keep it moving because a lot of guys played tonight, actually. All right, we got 1, 2, 3, a few more guys. All right, let's start with Tolu Smith, boss. Tolu got some bump tonight, guys. He finished with 3 points, 1 for 3 shooting, 1 of 3 from the free throw line. I need that free throw shooting to go up, bruh. 3 boards, 2 assists, 1 turnover in 15 minutes. So what did you see tonight from Tolu?
Yeah, he's someone that I'm just like, yeah, he's a rebound magnet, just like B-Ball Paul. I think he just really couldn't figure out. I don't know. He did well out there in the minutes that B-Ball was off. This box score is kind of surprising to me because I just expect more from him. I just what I'm seeing. Like I would have.
Yeah. But I know what you mean.
But again, like 3 rebounds. Like again, the most off the bench was 4 by Wu. Like we were just making our shots to the point that he wasn't really needed there to clean it up because that's kind of what he does. He does run guys over. He only finished with 2 fouls as well. 2 offensive rebounds, which were huge of the 3. Again, these guys are just kind of at the rim there to clean up, and that's what he does.
Yep.
The 3 points. I don't love that. But only 1 of 3. Like,
but like you mentioned, though, it's like I'm sorry, I'm going to cut you off, but it's like you mentioned, we shot 46% as a team, 40% from 3. So we're not out shots. And
like some people said, like some of the Daniss to Tolu connections were apparent because they played together.
Yeah.
And it almost maybe felt a little bit forced at times, all this stuff, because there were some good looks at the basket that even, he did get called and he was able to go to the free throw line. There were some looks that I feel like he could have finished, but didn't, whether that was a foul or whether that was just trying to get done. But like, I'm still not worried. Like Tolu will most likely be our backup against the Knicks as well next week. And I'm still okay with that. Like, I think that he doubles this box score in that time because I am confident in the way he plays. He plays confidently himself and he knows his game. I think that he looks at this box score and is a little disappointed at his production, but again, like it wasn't like he was 1 of 6. It wasn't like he got no rebounds. He even recorded 2 assists, which is nice from a big guy out there. He's also somebody on our team that is just ready to go in when he's ready. And we've seen him get in foul trouble in previous games early this season, just from being there. So to only record 2 fouls in that time again just goes to show that he was aware of the situation as well. And I think he just does even better against the Knicks. I'm actually honestly excited to see him go against. It's kind of funny. Like I'd rather see Reed against Robinson and Tolu against Cat. That's kind of where I'm at.
Really?
Yes.
I think I want it the other way around.
Okay.
I'd like Tolu on Mitchell Robinson because Cat's a little more light foot. Like both of those guys between Tolu and Mitchell Robinson are specifically like paint guys.
Yeah, that's true.
Like B-Ball Paul and Cat can both kind of spread the floor a little bit. B-Ball can move his feet pretty well, and he's stronger now too. So I think that's kind of how I would go with it.
And okay, I do agree with that now because I sent you today. There was a video, guys. You can look it up. Last night, Cat fouled out, and Clyde Frazier was talking. It was just kind of exacerbated with him. Like it's kind of like it's inevitable at this point. And some people, they were kind of. I don't think the clip I sent you just included it, but they were kind of talking about like, well, maybe Brunson shouldn't have left. Or like, but Brunson shouldn't have to wait on his lazy big, to run over. I agree. So I do think that Paul Reed out hustles Cat in terms of that, in terms of getting to the spot for his shot, but also for the rebound. So I do see that as well. And I think Tolu will give. They both are rim guys, and I think Tolu has the size advantage on Robinson. And also, I don't think he's gonna he's obviously gonna watch film and be aware that it's Mitchell Robinson as his matchup, but he's not gonna care.
I don't take it personal.
Yeah, I'm still gonna get the ball. So
yeah, our guy Sean Murphy, shout out to Sean, asked him about what it like if he ever had to guard Wemby, what would he do? And he just kind of shook it off like, okay, and like, okay, yeah, he's tall. but I'm still gonna bring it. So that's just if he just brings that mentality. I like that he has a mentality. It doesn't matter who he's playing against. He's ready to go.
Absolutely. Agree. And Lindo, the free throws, I don't recall that bad of a hitch in Tolu's free throws. I agree. He can usually drain them.
I didn't see y'all saw a hitch in this. I didn't see that.
Just like not making them to 1 of 3. Like he can make them. Okay. So I think
he shot well last time he played.
He's been out too. This is his first game back from an injury. So maybe he's just kind of warming up, getting used to that. It was a calf injury. It wasn't like a wrist injury. But, I mean, calf injuries are still – I mean, that's what they've been keeping guys out for Achilles and stuff. He looked fine out there in terms of movement, but
he did look a little – he didn't have the burst he usually has as far as just exploding off the floor. Agreed. It wasn't there. I'm glad you brought that up because he didn't look – that too. He was upset. It was when he had with the left hand. It didn't even hit the rim. It was like, whoa. Like, he's usually pretty good around the rim. So – I feel you on that, Richard. I think that's a good take. He's got to get himself back into form as far because he was off for a minute, like you said. So I think that was part of it for sure.
Yeah, that's what I think, and that's why I think like this kind of All-Star break will be nice for him to also recover. And I do think that he's gonna again double all of his stats, at least double them tonight in terms of he is a guy that we've seen come in even in the last 5 minutes and record like 9 rebounds. Like he's
crazy.
One of those guys.
Rodney, he's big. He's pretty much 7 feet. He's like 6'11" and a few inches.
And he runs over like that's what I said. Like he just when he gets it at the top, like at the free throw line. He will run you over again. Like that's kind of why I want to see him against Cat because I don't think Cat could handle it. I think Tolu will, like I just said, like he doesn't care who he's going up against. He's still just going to play his ball. I think he will run it down, and he doesn't have to. What I hate about Cat and Brunson is how they bend over and run with their heads. I'm like, bro, stop it.
Yeah, Jaylen Brown does that a lot too. I can't stand it. Yeah. All right. Anyway, but I agree. I thought he was solid tonight. It wasn't his best game. But he's still working his way back into form, so I'm not going to give him too much. I'm going to give him a break. Also, last thing, he did though like take the challenge. It was it was one play he was guarding Scotty Barnes on the perimeter, and he stayed in front and forced a shot clock violation.
Yep,
you guys remember that play?
You're right.
So he has the ability to move his feet on the perimeter too, right? He's not just a tall guy who's gumpy and falling over. Like no, he's pretty quick of foot, and he's not really where he would like to be as far as his conditioning and the burst and stuff. So he's just showing he can do a lot of good things for you on both sides of the ball. Not going to be flamboyant. It's not going to be a bunch of posters, but he just comes in and gets the job done like he can do. So we're solid. All right, guys, let's go like 3 guys got like 2 minutes. Let's go to Chaz Lanier first. Chaz Lanier in this game, he didn't score 2 minutes. 0 for 2 from the field, 0 for 1 from 3. So surprisingly, he couldn't find his shot, but he played 2 minutes. So he came in super duper cold. So not really gonna incomplete. Incomplete for me.
That's how I feel. I wish we got him in a little bit earlier.
Same.
We were kind of on that run for a while, so I feel like we could have gotten some of these guys in closer to 5-6 minutes left in the fourth. But I get why he just wanted to just let the it wasn't like our starters were in there. It's just the rest of the bench in. So I get that.
Right.
But yeah, hope we see more of him. I was bummed that he missed his 3. He was also in and out. So yeah, no notes because like you said, incomplete.
Yeah, for sure. Doug says, didn't Tolu do a promotion for some podcast? Yeah, guys, Tolu does the intro for every video that starts. That's Tolu Smith. He came on the show last summer. By the way, go check that out. It was a great show, exclusive show here in the Downtown The Boss Show. Really good dude, man. You learn a lot about him and his background and how he got a chance to be here. Really good dude, good family. But yeah, he was nice enough to do a drop for me for the show. Yeah. So shout out to Tolu. That's my guy. And no, we're not related, guys. I posted that picture like 2 weeks ago. Y'all are like brothers. Like, no, we're not. Just because we're both light skinned, right? With the pretty boy, whatever call smile, don't mean we related, bro. We're not related. That's my guy. So, we'll leave it there. It's a little racist, low key, but that's a whole other thing. I'll leave it there. Guys, let's go to Bobi Klintman in this game, guys. Bobi Klintman, same thing, just like with Chaz Lanier. 3 minutes, no points, 0 for 2 shooting, 0 for 1 from 3, and a steal. He had a steal in 3 minutes. So once again, for me, incomplete. Didn't get a lot of opportunity, but what'd y'all see? What'd you see, boss?
He had a steal. It's funny because he had like Chaz is zeros across the board and he was a +1. And Bobi was zeros except for one steal, and he was a -1. It's just funny how those plus minuses work, you know?
I know. Yeah, it's hard to really trust him, bro.
Yeah, exactly. It's a nice one to shout out, but I never rely on it for how the game went for that player or for the team. But okay, Bobi, good job. Yeah, he's one steal is great. I'm just excited for him to grab a rebound one of these days.
He hasn't played. He hasn't played.
The last game, remember, he did play, and he went up for a rebound, and they just tapped out his hand like a feather. He's got it. Bobi,
okay, boss.
I need Stu, in your suspension time off, just bring Bobi to your farm.
I do want to see him play bigger. Like, he's a very much finesse player.
And it's beautiful. It's a beautiful finesse game. The way he moves.
We just need him to use that size.
People have compared him to a gazelle. Like, he moves so smooth.
Yeah.
But, like, just for our style of play, like, move like a gazelle on offense, but, like, post up in defense. Like, let them know you're there. Body him. So,
yeah. I feel it. He could probably use some time in the weight room, too. Get a little bit stronger. So, I agree. And the thing with him is he's not going to play it unless he's playing defense. Organic says, I'm sorry, but every time Bobi touched the ball, it was just
tender. I like the way tender. It's like he's
I'm screaming. That's funny. Zion, you're not funny, bro. Says Deuce and Tolu brothers, but Deuce is missing the Samoa side of things. I'm screaming. Devon says, no, I'm black AF and y'all like I can't even use it then. He just called me.
They're saying it's not racist. They're saying it's genuine.
I was just playing with y'all now. Y'all know, but Devon called me out, so I can't even use that now. All right.
Racist if they said you look like AG. It'd be like,
well, yeah, because that ain't even close, bro.
Yeah, exactly.
Unless you're colorblind or something. Like, that ain't, there's no connection whatsoever with me and Aaron Gordon, something like that. So, okay, all right. I'll let it go. Devin, he needs to get stronger. I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. Heisenberg says he seems like he's never ready when the ball gets passed to him. Okay.
He looks
okay. You said what?
He just does. I agree. He looks a little shocked. He's almost like, I almost want to go out there and be like, you know, he just looks like tender. It's the perfect word. Like,
somebody make him mad.
You're so sweet, Bobi. Yeah, you're so sweet. Like, don't smile and giggle.
Yeah.
You know, like, because he looks like even when he makes, whether it's a bad thing or a good thing, he's kind of has, like me, like, I can't make a mean face. I'm always a little bit smiley. That's how he is. But he'll get there. He'll get there. I don't know if he'll be with us, to be honest.
And and I thought he was going to be in the rotation this year. I've gone on record saying I thought he was going to be the backup four, get some minutes there. Just hasn't materialized yet. I think if he's going to get on the court, it's going to have to be with his defense first. We know, like with JD. JD was a very raw, offensively skilled player when he got here. JB's like, nope, you ain't playing, bro, unless you commit to that side of the ball. We saw how that worked out for him. So it's maybe Bobi going through the same thing because we know he's got an offensive back. He can score, he can handle, he can pass for all these things. But I think it's just a situation where it's like, okay, I got to take a step back before I can go too forward and focus on this side and then go from there. So once that kicks in for him, hopefully it is here, then we'll see him better on both sides. So I think you guys have some credence to what you're saying. I do think so.
Yeah.
And the ambassador says, Deuce with it. We're not doing this tonight, y'all. Y'all see, okay. All right, let's move on before y'all start clowning me and roasting me and cooking me all night for no reason. It's too many of y'all for me to try to go at y'all. So I'm gonna lose that battle. Anyway, let's keep it going. Boss, let's go to Sass. Marcus Sasser, guys, tonight in this game. He didn't play much either. He played 4 minutes. So at least everybody got a chance to play. 2 points, 1-for-1 shooting overall, 1 assist, and 1 turnover. Once again, in 4 minutes. Another incomplete. He had a nice little left-handed lay, I think it was, at the end of the game. So that was cool. Go ahead. But what you see from Sass?
Yeah, I mean, like you said, incomplete, but compared to the other incompletes, he, recorded points and an assist. So I'll take that from him. Again, I would have liked to see him against Shed just because they are fun. And I followed Sass since he got drafted, and he shares a lot of Shed things too. Jamal Shed was, I would say Jamal
Houston?
Shed was kind of, Houston.
Okay.
And Jamal Shed and Sass had kind of the same trajectory. Like Jamal Shed came in a couple of years ago when the Raptors were injured, and then now he's been kind of coming in as their backup. Like neither one of them got a lot of play time, but I first saw Shed here in Denver play a couple of years ago, and I really just liked his game a lot. He very similar game. I don't know if I don't know if Shed was the point guard and Sass was a shooting guard, or if they came
Mhm.
off for each other or what, but they have very similar styles of play. They both like to shoot the three. They both can handle the ball. They both, can be trusted in that way. So, but I would have liked to see that. But anyways, with Sass, it's just nice to see him. And again, I would have liked to see him for maybe 3 more minutes. 7 or 8 minutes. But again, still happy to retain him. Still happy he's on our bench. And he is definitely someone that we can go to if any of our shooting guards go down, whether starter or bench. He's still someone that we can heavily rely on. And he had like 2 back-to-back, 18, 19-point games for us. Like he can produce.
And he's nice with that basketball. I think either Jamoke or 313 said he's the best ball handler on the team. I may have to agree.
That's
him
how
or
I
DJ
feel
for
too.
me. I saw that play too when he was dribbling like Isaiah Thomas in the All-Star game when he had Magic Garden behind the back and forth, back. I saw that too. That was cool. So it's just nice to see him kind of flash that natural ability. He's got a very polished game offensively. He's a bucket. It's just nice to have him. Exactly.
Sure. And I agree. Like I think Daniss Jenkins has great handles too, but I've been saying Sass has the best handle on the team for like 3 years.
You could be right.
He's off the bench. He's just really, even if not the best, the most fun. Like he's just fun to watch.
No, he's fun to watch. It just looks good.
Yes.
Aesthetically, it just looks nice to watch, right? Yeah, so I feel it. I feel y'all on that. 313 says me. I'm screaming. We got a super chat coming in from MB Well. What's going on, bro? He says 40 wins with plenty more to go. So real quick, guys, we're 40. Okay, look, real quick. We're 40-13, right? So that's 53 games. So we have 29 games remaining.
Wow.
So if we go 20-9, we'll get to 60 wins.
Oh my God.
If we go 20-9, just a little quick math here, don't worry about it. If we go 20-9, we'll be at 60. So do you guys think we will get there? You boss, and then you mentioned the tough schedule. We got Stu out for 7 games. It's a little tougher, but we got our depth, so we can show we can win without it tonight. Do y'all think we get to 60 wins?
It's hard to picture this team losing 10 games before the playoffs.
That's what I was thinking. That's
where it's at. I'm not even focusing on the win part, but like to lose after, we on the 13 games, the Wizards was kind of like a giveaway almost.
Yeah.
It's hard to pick. We do have the tough schedule coming up, which even if we like split that and go 3-3, 3-2, 2-3, that's still 7 more games we have to lose. And we do play a lot. Like it'll be our first matchup against the Spurs, which we play them again in March. It'll be our first matchup against OKC, which we play them again in March. Like some of these guys we will play again, but like I can't call it. I predicted because you asked us on the roundabout table with King and Eric Vincent as well. Like, and you said over under 60, and I said under, but more like 58. So like,
right. I still got 60 on the nose. I could see the last game of the season, the bench guys.
And the last
coming in and scrapping the win out. I could see that for the 60th win.
The last week we have like Wizards. I know we just lost to them, but I don't think we will let that happen again. Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's like Wizards, Bucks, Pacers are like our last 4. And
so I can see the bench unit.
Yeah. And so like
okay, we'll see. We'll revisit, but we gotta go 20-9 the rest of the way. So pretty much it's just 2-1 every 3 games.
I just want to say, just while we're talking about who we're playing, Matty Fresh again, and I don't think he's here tonight. I'm going to tell him that we called him out again, but he brought up that we have now beaten every team in the East this year. Every team in the East we have won against.
With 30 games to go.
Yep.
So, that's impressive.
So it is the West, and the West is kind of, but I also like, even with OKC and Spurs, I don't see us going 0-2 against those guys. I can see us splitting it.
Yeah. By the way, Doug says Wemby only team he hasn't blocked yet is Detroit. Had a block against Detroit. We ain't played them yet. So he's probably going to register a block against us. He's probably going to. He's going to get one.
Well, yeah, it's a 1B.
He's going to get at least one.
Yeah.
But it'll be interesting to see how we look against the Spurs and Thunder. We haven't played those teams yet. All right, guys, really quickly, let's get you guys feedback on what you guys think as far as that. 55-27. Let's see, 60 plus. That don't seem as hard the way we've been playing. We got a tough road ahead. Split the Knicks, Spurs, maybe Cavs. Just want us to pass up OKC. We're right. We're a half game back. I haven't checked the final score.
Okay, OKC did win today.
They keep winning.
They kind of blew out the Suns, which is insane.
All right, whatever. 63-19. If we do that, we will tie the second best record of all time for Detroit. They were 63-19 when they were winning championships with the Bad Boys. 64-18 in 2006. So we'll see. Of course, one game at a time. We having a little fun, but you're right. One game at a time. Got to get it done. One game at a time. 60 ball.
For me,
I had it 60, so we'll see.
Yeah. For me, it's just more like imagining this team winning 10 games. And after going this long with 13 losses to like lose 10 games in only 8 weeks, it's kind of insane. But possible. But yeah, I mean, how about this? Do you see us right now where we're at finishing in first this season?
Yeah, I do for sure. We're up. We've been up 5 games on second place for like the last month and a half.
I think we're up 5.5 after tonight too.
I think our bench is too good to give up a 5-game lead.
We are 5.5 ahead of the Celtics and 6 games ahead of the Knicks. 7 games ahead of the Cavs.
We're not letting anybody care because we would need to lose a bunch and they need to win a bunch. And I don't. Only team who I think will have a chance is the Cavs because they're hot right now and they got James Harden and there's no film on how that looks. But
I saw
that's the only team, right? And they beat the Nuggets, right? That's the only team who would have a shot. But I think they would need to get some help from us as far as just losing games we're not supposed to. I think our lead right now is too big. And we're too deep.
That's where I'm at. I think the closest we've let someone get lately is 3.5, and then we pulled out before. So we do have the Knicks next, which will be another test. They'll be at the Garden. But again, like if we lose that game, I don't see it being a blowout. And if we win that game, the way we've been playing them, it could possibly be a blowout. It's gonna be interesting because the only games we played against them have been at home. Yeah. And while we thrived at MSG last year in the playoffs, it'll just be a different environment for us. But it's kind of nice that we have the break. I do think, even though the suspensions are there, the break is nice. Yep,
I agree. So look, guys, it's 2.5 hours, boss. You want to table the other topic we have for another day, because we're probably gonna be here for 3 hours at this point. We can talk about it. Yeah. Here's the thing. Let's save it because. First of all, it's already 1 o'clock in the morning, at least here. It's 11 o'clock where you are. But I'm going to say we can save it because we are going to be 313. Kurt just asked. He says, are you guys doing a watch party for All-Star? We are doing a watch party for the All-Star game on Sunday, right? So we are definitely going to be here for that. You guys can tap in. That's going to be fun because y'all rock with us when we're doing the national games for sure. Y'all seem to like those. So we're definitely going to run it back for you guys. So you guys can expect to see that. That should be a lot of fun watching Cade and JB and JD and those guys do their thing together in the All-Star game. That's going to be fun. So we are definitely going to do that. The Pistons got 7 days to rest up, recharge your batteries, and get ready for the stretch run. So yeah, we'll be doing a live stream. So make sure you got those alerts turned on come Sunday night, and we'll go from there, boss. What else you got?
A couple things. So this All-Star break, probably this weekend. I want to say Friday or Saturday. I can't guarantee because it just depends on when me and Deuce both have the time. We do want to create a chat on Instagram for all of us to kind of connect. I've had great community chats with a lot of Pistons fans, and Deuce and I thought it'd be time for all of us to have a chat. There will, of course, be rules like no personal attacks, and it'll be kind of like this. Like you guys are really chill. So that's all we want. And just to keep up on things like that. So I think when Deuce and I create it, we will have to add you guys. So hit either me or him up on Instagram and tell us that you are interested so that we can add you to the chat. And that will be coming again, probably Friday, Saturday at the latest. So we'll do that. I think we're still in talks about a fan show too. So we can get your guys' thoughts on everything. Yeah, we just want to plan it right because I just, want to talk to you guys about the trade deadline, how things are going. We just want to hear you guys up here more too. Oh, a Discord.
Okay, I heard we can look into that.
Discord because of I've been on Reddit and they are mad at Discord right now. So
really?
We'll see. Yeah,
we'll take a look at it. We'll take a look. Yeah.
But send us ideas and stuff. But I think we'll start with the chat because then we can just stay involved, stay in touch more.
For sure. Duran is not suspended for the All-Star game. He will be back for that. Go ahead.
They also mentioned that he is eligible still for the dunk contest. They haven't said anything, but I guess if he's feeling okay, he might. And honestly, I wouldn't blame him.
I don't think he's in it. They showed
You
the
don't
4
think so?
contestants tonight. and
Okay.
He wasn't one of them.
Okay, because they did mention it in there. So I wouldn't mind if he was able to rejoin because he's suspended for our next game anyway. So if he's feeling up for it, might as well. But it's okay.
I'm
if
glad
not.
he's resting. I'd
And-
rather him chill just to be safe, but I feel you. Go ahead.
And then, yeah, for the All-Star game, we're going to do it live. We don't know what it's going to be. Last year, I was really disappointed in the All-Star game. It felt like a
Format
long
was
commercial. So
cheeks.
hopefully it's just like a nice flow this time because
Buns.
it's a roundabout tournament.
Get Kevin Hart out of here, bro. during
Yeah,
the All-Star
I
game.
mean,
I don't want to see that.
More so just like the commercials, that's just like just let them
Commentary
play.
was
So
trash, bro. Like,
I'm curious, but I'm excited because I have a lot of guys that I love in there from obviously Detroit and other teams, including the Nuggets. And other guys, there's some guys in the All-Star game that I'm absolutely despise. So we'll talk about that stuff too. But yeah, it should be a game. And JB is the coach of Cade and Duran's team.
yep.
And then Mark Dagnaw is the coach of the other USA team.
Yeah.
And then the Raptors coach is the coach of the world team. So
It's gonna be
I like
fun, man.
Yeah, it's
This
going to be
is they got to bring their game against Team World because that's a lot of talent over there, man. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
It's gonna be fun to see.
So
So make sure you
that's
guys got
just
your
more
list turned
so
on.
where I'm at. And like I said, just hit us up on Instagram. We'll get that chat created ASAP. Just to talk about the stuff. I love the chat. I love all the chats I'm in, but would definitely like to get a lot of your guys' opinions as well. So
Yep, for sure. So listen, man. Last thing, guys, before you get out of here, guys, we just hit 9,000 subscribers on the channel.
Oh, yay!
And we want to give all the thanks to you guys for your continued support. Your continued support helps with the algorithm and all that jargon that everybody else talks about at the end of their videos. So I'm not going to do that. But I just want to say thanks to everybody who's been supporting us, rocking with us, arguing with us, debating with us, going back and forth with us. We appreciate all of it, right? Because all of it contributes to the community and just being able to kind of bounce off. I learned things from you guys too. It doesn't just go one way. You guys drop stats. Doug's always dropping stats. You guys drop stats from the game that I missed. Doug's got stories from years ago that he's teaching me, right? So you guys all help build this community up. So I just want to say thank you to all you guys. You guys have really been huge and consistent and loyal. Just rock on me and Boss, welcoming Boss onto the channel.
Right? I mean, that's what I gotta mention. Like, thank you guys so much. Like, Deuce has built this. Like, 9,000 is huge because I think it was closer to 8,500 when I came on. So that's incredible. But Deuce has built this all himself and has welcomed me in. You guys have all welcomed me in. So I super appreciate it. Still working on my social media skills so that I can, contribute back. Yeah. No rush, but just this community has been amazing. Again, another reason why we kind of want to create the chat and grow it more because it's really cool. And you guys are so positive, we just know what you guys are gonna bring. You guys are so consistent to us. We're so excited to talk to you all. I already can foreshadow in my head how the chat's gonna go sometimes with how the game goes, and a lot of your names come to mind. And just also thank you too for the support for the show, but also for the foundations we've been trying to support.
Absolutely.
It's all just been so
y'all great, man.
Y'all
are great.
So awesome.
I rock with y'all heavy for real. I really do.
Yeah.
I really do, man. And it's glad to know y'all feel the same about us. Crutch says, shout out to Boss. She's very polite, has good takes. She's part of it. Oh, for sure. For sure, man. I'm glad she's here too. She makes things a lot easier for me. We bounce off each other, right? So I ain't just got to talk to myself along with y'all for 2 hours. So
you've seen me, guys. You've seen me do that twice, guys, and you've seen me struggle. I'm always just like, how does Deuce?
I still have my moments too. I ain't gonna lie.
It's good. I mean, it's fantastic, but it's
she'd be like, hey guy, she'd be like, I get a text like, hey, so whenever I see hey, so I know that means she's going to a dimmer game. I'm like, all right, I gotta lock in. It's gonna be me tonight. All right. I need y'all help tonight. Check these comments even more.
After the Hornets game, I'm like checking my phone. It's first quarter of Cavs Nuggets, and he's just like, "Oh, tonight's gonna be a blast if we win." I'm like, "Yo, I'm at the Nuggets game." So
I totally forget, bro.
Oh man.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we appreciate it, man. We really do appreciate all of you guys, man. So shout out to you guys. When we hit 10,000 subscribers, we're gonna be doing a giveaway. So just stay tuned for that. Stay tapped in for that. Tell your friend to tell a friend. But like I said, we appreciate you guys, man, for showing up, showing out as you guys always do, just like you guys did tonight. And per use, make sure you guys smash that like button and subscribe if you are new. We'd love to add you to the community and have you be along for this ride, for this great season we're about to continue to have post All-Star break and All-Star weekend coming up, right? So we appreciate it. I've said it about 1,000 times and I mean it every single time. So thank you guys. Listen, we hope you guys have a great night. Be safe.
Oh, and
hey, what's up?
Happy Valentine's Day. You guys are all my Valentines on Saturday.
Hey, so tell your Valentine B-Ball Paul happy Valentine's Day.
Yeah. If anything, send some Valentines to the Pistons. Tell them that you love their season.
Yeah, for sure. Valentine's Day is Saturday.
Yeah.
I'm glad because if it was Sunday, y'all wifey would not have allowed me to be doing this on Sunday. Valentine's Day was Sunday. So thankfully it's Saturday. So I'll get a chance to chill with y'all on Sunday. So yeah. All right, guys. On that note, we are going to call it a night. Be safe, guys. Stay warm if you're in Michigan. Stay cool if you're in Denver, because obviously it's not cold there. But y'all know the drill, man. Detroit versus everybody. See y'all Sunday for the All-Star game. Peace.
All the dirty work, all dog. I'ma dive on the floor, go try to block every shot. And I'ma be physical with you the whole game. You know Stu gonna be physical with you. When you think of the Pistons, you think of just hard work and just gritty basketball. That's just the identity you gotta have when you put on that jersey.
I'm not your average breed of canine. Not a good dog, I'm bad boy for life. I set the tone, don't care about no tick. Let it be known, I get my respect. Come in the lane and see I don't bluff. If you retaliate, that's on ya. Talking pundits, I hear you're ashamed. Talking that shop, you must want this way. Tryna tell ya, look at dog palm, mess around, find out, look at dog palm, mess around, find out, for some barbecue sauce, boy, you better crop a hill, cause I'm like that. When you're ready for some barbecue sauce, boy, you better crop a hill, cause I'm like that.